advance on with the 2-0.
What a quick finish there compared to our back and forth battle we had in match number 1. But they are all alone. 1v4 situation almost. See the shots coming through. Somehow they were just in the wrong direction, trying to distract, so 3AM could take them from behind. But Chone with a 2-piece to their name, and they're trying to secure this 200-point total they have been vying for quite some time.
Oh my goodness, and that's a 4th streak for Chone.
Boon for the side of Westmech. They're up by a life, either they're down by a player. Kill is contested this time though, and a good look from Cray, getting a 2-piece for themselves.
You see though, right now Chone is able to hold that time, already surpassing 3 minutes. That is
basically
insanity. and with
dude,
that, you look.
With the 3 from the kill streak and ends the game. It says West Charlotte, but of course, you know, it is flipped. It was Wake Leadership Academy dominating that matchup.
Half the battle, being able to retrieve that bomb, and so Zini might be targeting this A, but unbeknownst to him, across the other side, that's going to be swag check, shots confirmed, positions compromised, red alert, someone's in mother base. Let's get this one rolling as now swag check takes down the verticality, goes for the flank, grabs the kill, goes for the defuse, and that's the 4th round for Wake Leadership Academy.
But you want to do everything you can to get an advantage here in the side for S&D, and getting that first blood for Parade Pine is a great way to do it.
Great way indeed, and I mean Invader's going to be there to try and grab 2. We'll grab 1. Emelson though, ooh, with the nice flank, good positioning again. We are at the dagger round, Vaudable. It's going to be a bit of a difficult one. I mean, you look at that round 7. This is the round that do not lose all your shooters just yet, but it will be a 1v2. Going for the shots, and oh my goodness.
Wow. The 2 best teams in this group battling it out for the #1 seed going into the bracket stage from that specific group. It's going to be a good one, Susano. Batch with a 2-piece too. My goodness.
we are flying and frying at all-time highs right now. These squads are moving through, and he goes out there and slays it. I mean, this squad's ready. They're making the plays, they're making the moves, and swag checks the one flying and frying. He's a good guy, man, and well, the Gunny keeps up with that reputation.
18-6 right.
Is costed at the venture of that life. Zany's here, goes for the opening shots. Not gonna get in between, but they're stuck. What? What?
Get 1. How is that possible? Somehow they weren't able to kill a single player. They looked both directions. It's like that SpongeBob meme where he's looking at a book, he's going cross-eyed for a second, and they couldn't decide where to shoot.
I really don't know what to tell you there. I mean,
B-site first tick taken for Monroe High, and the second one almost already. They got to quickly get onto B. They're giving them so much room to work with. Right before the second tick was taken, had first to 6 wins between these 2 teams. Good shots coming through again from Swag Check. That's 2 kills on the round, and there goes the completion. It will be Wake Young Leadership Academy finally stopping that monumental run that West Charlotte been putting on to tie up the round.
3 stack. The site is moving fast. No teams are going to be able to stop them. But Emelson's here and ready to be a thorn in their side, and they start making the play, and the explosions go through, and that's a good defensive hold.
On the rotation through blue connector, takes him out from behind and gets the kill here as well. Gets the bomb planted, but that's not going to really help in a 1-on-2 situation. As I say that though, they do get 1 down. Now it's a 1v1.
1v1 here. You can't give up the bomb exactly, but Zany could potentially just play this one smart. Shots are going to go through the door. These nefarious doors. Gets the stun check, goes for the nade. You got to just play smart here. That's exactly what's happening. They're sliding back and forth. Chone knows he does not need to give up his life. 15 seconds left. Goes for the shots. Stops the defuse. And he's playing smart. He even gets the drop shot kill. And the scatterbrain ensues. So now it's time to get back in.
They know where they are, but they actually saw the player. They don't hear them yet in the blue connector, so they're going to sneak around behind them towards the A site, see exactly where they're at, putting the shots on, gets 1 down. Now it's a 1v1 situation. T-Town, got to see what angle they're coming from right behind the post, and they take them down a peg, and there we go. Now going for the defuse, and what a clutch of a play for Emelson.
That is amazing. Great clutch out of Emerson there. And
They're shoulder to shoulder. What is happening right now? A 1v1 in the hill. Parade Pine just outside. Triton still in control. 211 to 245. Only 4 seconds left for Parade Pine. Here comes Triton for the break back in. But Parade Pine with the denial. Westmech looking to win it out. One last kill. And there it is, D-Real. Westmech. Welcome back, everybody, to VESL Call of Duty Esports League. My name is Seymour. With me is Cruisin'. And I want to apologize quickly for missing out on that map 1. Jesse, you and I, we got to watch that whole terminal hardpoint underway, but unfortunately the viewers at home did not get to see it. So I guess we could give a little bit of a recap because it was a really fun time. Hotly contested game, very close towards the end.
Yeah, a really good game. I mean, Garer C ends up walking away with that map 1 victory, 250 to 183 over Kell. And honestly, I mean, through that first map, it was a lot of Japanese name really kind of popping off. And I know that might sound bad just kind of saying that going into this. That is his name. He is Japanese name, and he was popping off through a lot of that map number 1 for Garer C. But it wasn't until Reed the Sloth came and started helping out his teammate, really started popping off on that second set of rotations after maybe warming up a little bit there, Colin. And that team, once they hit their stride together, it was like they came back from down, what, 40 points, and then just kind of blew the game into their favor from that point on.
Yeah, it was just hold after hold after hold, like we said. I mean, rotation's so important for Terminal, and just towards the end, Garer C, they were able to put all of that together. So they received Japanese name and Reed the Sloth, a.k.a. the Forgotten One, playing on one of our producers, Reed's computer or account in-house tonight, as they have joined the production inside of this studio. So Garer C with a big game number 1, now heading over towards Terminal, search and destroy. But Kell weren't too far behind in that hardpoint, Jesse, and they're not far behind in search and destroy either.
I think that may have been Garer C. No. Okay, no, it wasn't. Okay, I thought the names were flipped for 1 second there, but no, I'm wrong. Maybe I'm a little flipped around here today, Colin. We've had a little. It's
a lot going on.
There's been a lot today, but it's all good. We got a nice little round 1 victory there from Kell to be able to walk away with that one there. Things you like to see. Now we'll just need to see what they can do going into this second game. And yeah, I will say we do need to kind of give their flowers where the flowers are due. And Kell and Millennium played really, really well in that first game as well. Millennium was double positive through a lot of that, even with the loss there. So player to really keep our eye on. And this is a bold strategy. Just full 4-man sprint to the base of the airplane. And they're going to get a free bomb plant here as Garer C has set up every single player, Colin, over towards B. This should be a free round win if they can get inside of this plane and hold on to the control of it.
It's a bold gamble, but it pays off, Jesse. Now with the bomb down, there's a very strong post plant set up for the offensive team. Very hard to retake, but timing is right for Mr. Goofball. Not 1, but 2. Now for the advantage here is Garer C. No team kills for Mr. Goofball, but it's a full retake right away. Kell just not able to...
Oh, okay. I thought that...
Kell just not able to set up in time, and I thought for a second everybody just died there from the team nade, but Garer C, what a retake.
Oh my God, Colin, I know not everybody got to see our first portion of the broadcast here because of the unfortunate issues that we had, but I was asking for team nade shenanigans to happen today.
And we got them.
And we absolutely, I thought everybody just died as well. I was right there with you. I was like, oh no, everybody just died on the same nade. Not the case though, Garer C, and I think Garer C actually show off why, Colin, they go over to B. They full stack that. They didn't want to give any opportunity to that. They were very confident in that retake, and they did it very well.
Yeah, well, for Kell, I'm sure a little bit frustrated after getting that bomb planted so easily. What a lineup for Eclipse. 3 kills right away. When the game just started, the round just begun. Eclipse playing for the ace will not happen. Reed, lovely 2-piece to maybe bring it back to size, but it is blown way out of proportion by Eclipse right at the beginning.
I think Reed just unfortunately catches a little bit of a rough timing here. He gets those 2 kills as well. If you can get away, possible chance to win that round, but Millennium inside of the plane will look through the cockpit, able to find that first kill there, or that final kill there, I should say, his first of the game, and able to walk away with that one there. Good stuff on the board there for Ardrey Kell. The defense looking solid, and yeah, I think if you are on the side of Garer C, Colin, might want to think twice about running through library off the start of the round. I'm just saying. Ninja or Eclipse Ninja sitting there. Yeah, look, Eclipse Ninja pre-checks his own spot. He just sat it. He's like, I don't want them to learn any of my tricks here, and unfortunately, we end up falling to Japanese name up top.
Highlight player from game number 1. Let's see if he can make a play here in game number 2. Read the slots with a backup. Millennium forced at a bad spot. Has to reload. Backs down. The mitigation is here, and Millennium turns the tides 1 versus 1. Japanese Denim versus Requiem, a player who is very, very quiet. Back inside of the hard point. Not a lot of kills. Not a lot of time. But look at the way that Japanese player Denim, or Japanese name, is playing this one. A full rotation through the plane. Timing in his favor for the B plant, and Requiem has no information, Jesse, on where this player is.
But I mean, makes a perfectly blind rotation out. Unfortunately, not going to get up and into the plane just in time, and Garer C will find that kill, be able to take it 2-2. And so far, Colin, it's been a lot of defense holding strong.
And I like this play from Japanese name. You know, instead of just focusing on a 50-50 for a plant, Jesse sets up in a position where you can see the B site as well as the crossover towards A at the exact same time.
Yeah, really good positioning, because like you said, you can see both those sites at the same time. And I mean, even if that bomb does go down at B in that situation, I mean, a very quick rotation over to B from the bottom portion of Eskies there. So it's a great spot. Really good chance for them to be able to get into a powerful position here. And yeah, very different break off from Garer C. It looks like we're going to get a 2-2 split. 2 players going over towards Burger Town, holding down those B lanes. The other 2 players trying to make their way over and into those plane tunnels.
Whoa, through the window. Nice shots from Japanese name. That's 4 in a row, Jesse. On his way over towards Streaks, but Millennium for the trade. 3v3, a little bit of team shots, and Japanese name is making the full wrap around the plane. We might catch some timing here. Possible streaks to the other side. Look at the experience knows exactly where the positions might be. They have no idea that he's here. 1 kill. Make it 2. Cruise missile now for Japanese name. And Terminal just got a whole lot easier for Garer C.
It did, but it didn't. Like, yes, it's great to have that streak. This map might be one of the worst maps to get a streak on, though, Colin. It is so hard to drop that cruise missile and find success with it unless you're on the offensive side of the offensive side of the map, and also have a lot of map control where there's nobody really inside, because you need those players to be outside. Otherwise, everything else is kind of caged in inside of the airport, and you don't have an opportunity to drop a streak through there very often.
Yeah. So we can see if Japanese name can, you know, make the most out of the streak, and, you know, how early will we see the streak called in. Immediately going to go for AC control. No, it looks like maybe potentially looking to use it right away. Stack over towards A. It's going to be met on the other side. Some timing here for Archery Kell, already wrapping his way underneath the airplane. Eclipse Ninja, he could change this whole thing.
He absolutely can. Smoke is going to go down, completely cut off line of sight to the bomb. Love this play. Bomb will go down here from Eclipse Ninja. Oh, just gets it down. Perfect timing there. Millennium will find a kill on the other side. Needs to play their life. Just get down. And might play it perfectly, but no, unfortunately cannot find the kill. And Japanese name, as much as they may have felt like they were carrying in that first game, Colin, even more so here. 9 in a row now, and we'll find the defuse here.
9 in a row, and you see how fast Japanese name reacted to the possible A plant, Jesse? With the smoke down, no hesitation, sets up for a spot to shut down Eclipse while that bomb's getting planted.
And, I mean, just the immediate reaction time as well to be able to turn around, to be able to find that final kill as well onto Ardrey Kell. Fantastic stuff. Put him, like you said, in a great spot to be able to shut that down in the first place, and then even be able to find the second one. Really, really good stuff. You love to see it.
No, of course you do. 4-2 for Garer C, as you know they're ready to 2-0 this series in their group and start off strong here in Group C. Ardrey Kell on the other end. A little bit of work to do. Jesse, Salty Splatoon 1 of 4, Requiem 1 and 5, and Japanese name already looking for some timing here. This is just cheeky spots, showing so much experience.
I do like a little bit of an adjustment that we see here from Ardrey Kell. Look at where Millennium is playing. That's player number 7 towards the backside. I say that, but Colin, we said it. They needed to be on offense to use that streak. And the the Clyde bomb comes down. They find the first kill.
Look at this. Already the wrap into the spawn. 2 members stacked at B, getting pinched out by Japanese Name. No idea what's going on. And Japanese Name going to be here to collect not one, but both members at the site. Now can plant this bomb safely.
And you know that they used that streak earlier, so they should have kind of a rough idea that Charlie Brown is all the way over across, or sorry, Requiem, I should say, is all the way across and inside of the plane. And Japanese Name, oh, I thought they were going to catch a good timing there, but will not. Requiem does show their position, and this should be the end. It absolutely is. Garer with a very strong performance here so far on the Search and Destroy. Took a few rounds to kind of get their wings underneath them, Colin, but once they have, they're absolutely flying now.
Absolutely flying here inside of the Search and Destroy, Jesse. 5-2. A little bit of pushback at the start, like you said, but now this is it for Garer C. You finish this round here, 2-0 to start off the day at the top of the standings inside of Group C. That would be a lovely place to sit, especially off of 15-2, possibly even more from Japanese Name.
And 13 kills in a row right now as well. I mean, like, not only is it 15, 13 in a row at the moment. Crazy, crazy stuff. And you can see a little bit of an adjustment here. Kell tries to make the push back down tunnel again. Not going to find any success. And yeah, they are just getting picked apart right now. Only one player left, and it's Salty's platoon.
I mean, he's already in the spawn. Salty's platoon, 1-5. Has to make his position known here. Some shots at distance land, but not enough for the kill. Garer C with a fantastic showing here in their first game of the night. A 2-0 in this best of 3 as they take down Kell.
Really strong performance there out of the side of Garer C. And I mean, that makes me really excited because we're going to see them again on stream just shortly as well. So kind of get to see them go up against a few different teams should be very interesting here through that one. Charlie Brown, not really too much there inside of that game, but the one player that we cannot stop talking about, calling enough, and that is Japanese Name. 16-2, finished with a 14 spree there inside of that game. Crazy game number 1 for them as well. I mean, really was the player to keep them in when they were struggling early on in that game, and once they kind of got their feet underneath them, this team has looked very, very good since the middle of that hard point.
Yeah, and things weren't easy at all for Garer C in that map number 1. It was a very close number 1, Jesse. 250 to about 183. So, I mean, coming out in 6-2 in the Search and Destroy, just showing that, you know, they're not only a good hardpoint team, but a good Search and Destroy team as well. After seeing our performances yesterday from Swag Checked, it makes me really excited for, you know, maybe a potential Japanese Name versus Swag Checked game for tomorrow or later on in the tournament, Jesse.
Yeah, it feels like a lot of these teams are going to come down to having one really experienced COD player on them to kind of show the ropes and kind of get the rest of the team underneath them in terms of being able to find success in this tournament. So that's going to be something that we really need to kind of focus on because, like you said, I mean, you saw Swag Checked, and they played really, really well inside of that first day. And the team looked like they were, I mean, maybe a little bit more rotational ready in terms of the hard point. They knew where they needed to go, where they needed to set up to find success. I think that we're going to find that more and more on the teams that do have those really standout performers here in this tournament.
Well, a little bit of work to be done for Kell, Jesse, as they fall 0-2 in their first match to Garer C, and that's going to be it for our first game of the night. Coming up soon, I mean, we had a STEM EC about to play, but it seems like our games have been swapped around. Coming up soon is going to be Newburn B versus Lee County B. After this quick break, our next match will be here. So we'll see you soon for some more VESL Call of Duty League. Welcome back, everybody, to the VESL COD Esports League. My name is Seymour. With me is Cruisin. We are done with match number 1, and we are getting ready to head into match number 2. Jesse, let's talk a little bit about what we saw in that Garer C matchup, because you know, you and I were hoping for something a little bit closer today, Jesse. But again, a player steps up, dominates the lobby, and we get a 2-0.
Yeah, and it was Japanese name who really stepped up to the plate. Very good stuff out of them. And you guys might be wondering, why are these guys talking so much about Garer C? Well, it's because we're about to see them on stream again here, Colin. And it was really Japanese name and then Read the Sloth who stepped up in the second portion for that team. And I mean, we're going to get to see them go up against a different team here on some different maps than what we've seen as well. We already know that they're very good at terminal search and destroy, but we will see them on Invasion for the map 1 here.
Well, yeah, here we go. Invasion, map number 1. Let's hope green level aren't a little bit green behind the ears. Jesse and Garer C, who have already proven them on stream. Are they going to be just as dominant as they were before with Read the Sloth, as well as Japanese name heading this team? Invasion, quite similar, I would say, to Terminal. Maybe not in like the verticality as you would have the outdoor and the indoor of Terminal, but with the amount of rotations that you're going to be seeing and how important it is to rotate early on this map.
Yeah, very, very important to rotate early on this map because of how kind of opposite the map is in terms of where all the hills are, right? I think I explained that very poorly, but basically you got P1 smack dab right in the center of the map, and then every single hill after that, wherever that hill is, look across the map at a very opposite portion of the map, and it is going to be basically just a mirror image of where the next hill is going to be. That's how far away you need to run for each one of these next hills. It is, you'll see it as this game goes on and it progresses. If you guys have never played Invasion, Invasion Hardpoint, it is just a crazy map, and it can get very mixy, Colin.
Oh, very mixy. Lots of long sight lines, lots of buildings for the SMGs to weave in and out of. You know, Bob left and right everywhere on the map and get up close and personal, especially if they're using those smokes to close that distance as quick as possible. I think that's something that, you know, we don't really talk about enough in this game because we haven't seen smokes in competitive Call of Duty for quite a while now. Now that smokes are being used on a map as big as Invasion, they're very, very important to closing the gaps in between hills.
And smokes and hardpoint are always a really interesting talking point too, because you can really cut off a line of sight for just enough time to be able to get that cross with a couple of people to be able to give you an advantage inside of that next hill, where if an AR is holding that lane down and you don't have a smoke to cross it, very likely you're not getting through with all 3 of those people, all 2 of those people that you're trying to get through with, even 1 sometimes, right? That AR, especially at the pro level, can knock you down so quickly. So smoke's very, very important, like you were kind of saying, to be able to find those lanes, to block them off and be able to get across and be able to get yourself into some powerful positions yourself.
Yeah, of course. And, you know, right now, I'd say for Garer C, after what we saw in their first game, Jesse, if Japanese name steps up with that AR and performs like he did on that terminal, it's going to be extremely hard for green level to continue through this map number 1. And I'm really looking for that one player on green level that might be able to go toe-to-toe in the head-to-head. This is a team that we haven't really seen this team at all. So it's just a big question mark, a big unknown of who in green level will be able to step up to that podium.
For sure. And I mean, we even seen it in the hard point of the first series, right? We did see one of the players on Arrey, Kell, be able to really step up to the plate as well and be able to kind of bring the fight to Japanese name. But once Read the Sloth also started popping off, that's when things got a little bit rough for Arrey, Kell in that first game. So, I mean, I don't think even it will just take 1 player from green level. I think you need at least 2 players on the team that are going to be playing at a mid to high level of Call of Duty right now, Colin, to be able to really give this team a chance against Garer C, because they looked very, very good in that first series.
Yes, they did. Yes, they did. So we're taking a little bit of time to get into this game, but as soon as they're ready, we're going to be jumping as quick as possible. It seems like nothing is wrong with the game, Jesse. It just seems like they might be taking a little bit of time to load into it. So it is taking a second, and we apologize, but we're going to get into the second match as quick as possible, Jesse. And, you know, being in for day 1 and day 2, Jesse, I mean, I guess we could sit and just talk about, again, just how awesome it is to be here casting Modern Warfare 3 again in a brand new season of Call of Duty with the VESL League too. I mean, if those don't, or those of you who are watching this might not know what VESL stands for, it's the Varsity Esports and STEM League. And those of you who don't really know what STEM is, we got to see, you know, D-Real and on stream yesterday really talk about it. It's science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. So it's for those of you who are looking, you know, maybe for a second chance or maybe a direction in life of where to go. STEM is amazing for that. You know, it really helps for a lot of pathways, you know, to build into not only going to school or maybe going back to school, but going into towards that higher education and where you can be doing research with the sciences, or not only that within engineering, math, any of the technology that is going to be there. STEM is, from what I've heard from plenty of friends too, Jesse, who have taken part inside of STEM and, you know, what pathways it does lead to, it is an amazing thing that is provided to a lot of people.
Yeah, very important, right? And like you said, not everybody's going pro in Call of Duty. I think it was D-Real actually who said that yesterday. Not everybody can make it, right? Out of one pro who makes it, there are 10 pros who don't, even more than that probably, right? That players who are trying to go pro that don't make it pro. So it's always good to have that backup, that secondary plan to be able to fall back onto. I mean, hey, even us as casters, right? I mean, something like that would be fantastic for anybody who's even trying to make their way up in a broadcasting scene, anything like that, because not everybody's going to make it. It's always good to have that backup plan.
It's always going to be smart to have that backup plan. But let's get into Invasion for our second match of the day. Garer C, green level. We're taking a look at green level with the less preferred sides for the early break-off. Mr. Goofball is going to be the first one there. But Tommy, for your mommy, able to get that first kill, break back in. And who else but Japanese name to take the long way around and pop 3 in a row, Jesse, right away.
But it doesn't matter, though. Tommy, for your mommy, up top. This has been such an annoying spot to deal with, and I can already tell that Tommy, for your mommy, is going to be an annoying player to play against because they're sitting up in this spot, the karma spot. You absolutely love to see it. And, I mean, they're not getting any time from this right now, but you know what? You're just keeping the other team out of it. And was that a teammate? Oh, my goodness.
The Marty Tom from Tommy finds not only Stork, but the whole team. Garer C literally just got away with so much time there that green level should have been picking up. Yeah, Tommy's been watching his CDL, Jesse, as we see that spot. I remember when I saw it, I was like, hold on, wait a second. Let me write that down real quick. But Garer C now already on the rotation over towards P2, and this is where things can start to snowball.
It absolutely is. Going to start to get some time here. Going to really start to build that up for themselves. Now, the thing is, when you're pushing towards this hill as green level, it's not very easy to find the break, but once you find the break, if you can get the side of Garer C spawning out towards the embassy building, this can be very easily held from this side of construction. So they do find the break here. Now it's all about finding this next wave of kills, and you can really eclipse a lot of time here.
Yeah, it's hard to cross, though, as soon as you get that break with the early spawns up from Garer C, but Popox finally putting some kills on the board. That's 2 in a row. A little bit of team shots there. Not expecting the flank coming in from Garer C. Japanese name runs out of bullets, and that's an easy pickup for Stork. Shutting these players down. It's 11 seconds that green level really need.
They really need that time there, and it's going to bring them very close to be able to bring this one back. And if you look across the map, rotations already down as well. Tommy, for your mommy, across the map inside a bus wins a massive one-on-one across the map as well. That's going to lock down not only spawns but a lot of early time here.
Yeah, a lot of early time for green level. Tommy playing fantastic, by the way. 10 and 3. 47 seconds. The lead from green level starting to grow, and again, this is another hill that it's hard to break into, but that's when the crossfires are set up. All 4 members of green level are stacked on top of each other, Jesse, inside of the hill. So Garer C, they're gonna have a little bit of an easier chance at setting it up, but when it comes down to it, getting the kills, that is another deal, especially when Tommy is playing absolutely out of his mind. But Japanese name, the one to go back and forth with him, brings out the Renetti. Unfortunately, can't find the kills. That's green level for Scrap.
I'm not gonna lie, Colin, after seeing everybody inside of the hill, that little bus stop hill, for that one portion of that, I honestly, after seeing green level throw as many teammates as we saw to start the game inside of P1, I was a little scared for a second there, but you know what, they were able to get the job done, get a very large amount of time there. It was almost a full 60 on that hill, and if you look across the map, Tommy, once again, the first player rotating over, gonna get set up here, and now just keeping their eye on the window. They get chowed, an immediate first kill for them there, and we'll see if they do decide to chow over anything else here, because these are just free kills at the moment for Tommy.
Yeah, you and I both excited to see this one. So Garer C broken yet again. Goofball's gonna get caught. Stork is starting to be really involved in this game. 7 and 5 will fall to Japanese name, but enough to keep Garer away for the time being. You see Japanese name on the mini-map looking for a break here. That's a nade right in, but the trophy system will stop it. Finds an angle, couple shots in, but caught by Tommy for your mommy. And again, Garer denied entry to a site. 118 for green level.
Oh, and this is really, really tough from Garer right now. They've got 3 players in hold with 6 seconds left. I know we're kind of newer to the Call of Duty scene here, but man, you really want to try to focus on giving up old time in situations like that where you've got spawns for new to push all the way over to new. The only saving grace from this is that they do win a couple of those gunfights and they keep those back spawns, and now they have an opportunity to try to shut down these green level players as they have to run all the way across the map.
Yeah, so this could be Garen's avenue back towards the game, Jesse. That's I think the main perspective that we're going to be taking into towards this one. So these kills are absolutely important plays. Looking for an angle in, but only providing a little bit of pressure. It's the rest of the team to really show up. Popbox with 3 in a row. The break immediately into Palace. We don't get to see that every day.
A very tough break into the embassy, and they find those first couple, and they're going to find some more here as well. This is the thing, is it feels like once you get set up as green level, this is where this team is finding a lot of success. They even did find that break there, but I mean, every hill so far that they've gotten set up in call, they have not been broken one time, it doesn't feel like.
No, and I think with how level, green level are, no pun intended, between Popox, Tommy, as well as Stork playing extremely well on these rotations and plays, just collecting so much time. Garer see those weaknesses that they had back in Terminal, Jesse, between, I'd say, Goofball and Charlie Brown almost being a non-factor when it came down to the slaying portion. That is starting to be shown and exploited here. Even Reed is struggling in this game. A team kills coming out from Charlie Brown. Tommy now looking to break, has time in his favor. A nice kill there onto Charlie, gets rid of the trophy system and stays alive.
Yeah, doing a great job of just staying alive. I thought they were trying to get back up top again. Unfortunately, missed the hop up. Tommy very likely to fall here, will end up going down. But man, this is just turning kind of ugly here for Garer as green level has really taken over this game here. Should have masked that 200-point mark. If you are Garer right now, this needs to just be time you're giving up and you are running to construction and get a full setup here, and this needs to be a full hold coming through.
And a lot of people, they need to look at the scoreline and understand that green level, they got 2-0 in their first match of the day, Jesse. So this is a team that's already lost in this group, and that has anything to say about the team we have yet to see here inside of Group C. This is going to be a very competitive top 3.
Yeah, it really could be. This could be end up being the group to watch right now is Group C, with how good these other teams have looked throughout this here. And Japanese name trying to get a little bit of a comeback going here for Garer. Good start. Unfortunately, though, because they're getting pressure out of the hill, they're not getting any time here. And time right now is very limited, and they need as much of it as they can get down to 120 points right now.
Japanese name, he needs a little bit of help here because Tommy has been a force to be reckoned with. Gets blessed with the spawns back over towards Palace. Right back into the action off the rip. Tommy's in the hill. Now with the power position with this MCW. That's our teammate, Tommy. Come on.
Tommy does not care.
Snapping on every single member of the game. Unfortunately, they won't be able to get it in, I guess, victory distance. But look how deep Garer are spawning. And we're heading back to bus stops. And Tommy's going to drop the cruise missile. Why not?
The last time we saw bus stop, it was a full 60. Tommy will drop the streak, find another. And look how far away Garer is spawning. They're in the middle of courtyard, spawning up towards construction. They might not even get here before they mass 240 points.
I mean, 233. This one is going fast. Japanese name back on the front line, but not for long. Tommy sweeps on in from behind. Another double kill coming out. 31-8. 7 seconds left, and nobody from Garer is getting anywhere close to the bus stop, Jesse. This is a green level hard point. They are not losing.
No, absolutely not. 33-8. Could be even more than that by the end of this one there. Tommy will finally end up falling. They just need one more second. Somebody hop in the hill. Put them out of their misery. Garer fall as green level. And Tommy, for your mommy, walk away with a map #1 victory. I love that. That's so funny.
It is a pristine name coming out for green level, and Popox as well. I mean, not a lot of action for the supporting cast of green level, but they really didn't have to do too much as we take a look at the scoreboard. 33-9, 5,300 damage, Jesse, and 2 minutes in the hill. Literally doing it all.
To put that in perspective, you look at the top 2 players on the other side of the board, and their two sets of kills combined equals what Tommy did by himself in terms of kills. So that just has to go to tell you how good of a game Tommy had there. I mean, an insane start, even quite a few team kills in that game for Tommy as well. It did not matter, snapping onto whatever was thrown in front of him. But Colin, I just got to talk about the start of that game. That initial break off, absolutely comedy. I love all the team nades that we're seeing in this. It's like teams don't realize that their nades do damage to their teammates right now. I mean,
I won't lie. When I was in high school
Same.
too, I had no idea
For sure.
that the nades were that powerful towards the teammates. So I can't sit here and judge because I was in the exact same position when I was in high school. But it is leading to a whole lot of comedy for you and I on this desk, especially considering Tommy was up inside of the karma spot for so long. Just living freely, just being such an issue for the side of Garer C, and it's his own team to remove him from that spot
with a nade, which then he answered back by he must have been cooking a nade to throw at somebody himself, because he killed two of his teammates with a nade right after. So it was like everybody died, and it was all just because of team nades. That was absolutely common. I'm here for it though. I'm absolutely here for, I guess you can call it the inexperience of a lot of the high school players here right now, and not really I don't want to say not knowing better, but not knowing the full extent to competitive Call of Duty here yet. And we can really tell from just what we've seen so far, a lot of these players just kind of starting to dip their toes into competitive Call of Duty, which is what this tournament's all about, right? It's about trying to get yourself out there, experience new things. And you do see it from a few of those players, like Tommy, for example. He knew the rotations every hill. He's running around with a maxed out MCW. He knew exactly what he needs to be running.
Oh, yeah.
He's definitely popping in Scump's chat every once in a while, searching up what class we're running on the MCW here today, and you could definitely tell from the skill level that Tommy just kind of had a little bit more knowing of what was going on inside a competitive COD.
Of course. And, it's a learning curve. When you look at Call of Duty, it seems like such a simple game, but then you start playing it, you start hitting those rotations, and all of a sudden, there's slide canceling, there's diving, you got to manage your whole team and communicate about your rotations and who you're going to be looking at. And things get pretty complicated when you're playing Call of Duty, as we get to see, for these players who are struggling sometimes in these games. But if we have a little bit of chance when we get ready for our search and destroy here between Garer C and Green Level, I want to take a look at Group C. We got Terminal Search and Destroy coming up next, but I'd really like to take a look at the rest of the teams that we're going to be looking at, because we've already seen Garer C twice on stream now, heading into their second map of their match number 2. Green Level now we're seeing for the first time Arrey, Kell, not too far away from taking down Garer C in a hard point, but that leaves Panther Creek B as the team that originally took down Green Level in their first match of the group. So Panther Creek B absolutely wiping the floor with Green Level in a 2-0 sweep, Jesse. And with Green Level performing the way they are here, I'm really excited to see the outcome of this group.
I am as well. I completely hear you on that one. Colin, I think a saving grace right now for Garer, the fact we're heading back to Terminal, because they looked very strong on this map in the early time that we saw them playing up against Arrey Kell in that first series. Once again, we do see an early rotation from Japanese name going towards the back of the bomb, but Tommy going to be alone inside of the plane. Will find the first, find the third of the round. This has been just a very quick round for Green Level.
Oh, very quick indeed. Starting hot in the hard point, and now following it up with a round number 1 in the search and destroy. It started and ended, Jesse, before I really got to determine what their breakoff strategy looked like. It's just nice setup defensively down lanes.
And honestly, it's kind of what you got to do on Terminal, right? You don't have snipers to worry about on the other side, as we got to talk quite a lot about yesterday. But being able to set up on those head glitches and being in some very, very dominant positions, it's hard to rip an AR out of that spot unless you're double challenging it with the team, which will come with a lot of teamwork to be able to kind of fight in some of those spots where you're sliding across to pull aim assist and then also have a second player to chow there with you. Not the easiest thing to do, and especially when you got Tommy running around the map like an absolute demon right now.
Yeah, Tommy. Another 2 kills there for Green Level, but immediately answered back. 1 versus 2 now for Stork. Not a bad game number 1, but the timing just not in your favor here for Search, and Garer C immediately answer back.
Yeah, very, very fast rounds here so far, Colin, between these two teams. I mean, it's just been pretty much run and gun at each other. It's almost like we're playing just a one-life TDM of everybody just sprinting at each other on the map. It kind of feels like at the moment. But I'm sure the pace will slow down once the game gets closer and closer towards the end, and we'll have to just wait and see there. I'm interested to see what we see in terms of a breakoff from Garer C here, because like we said, the last time we saw Green Level on defense, it was just kind of a setup across the board. Everybody just posted up, playing back, holding their positions. Now I'm interested to see what we see from Garer C, and it looks like a very similar push as Japanese name is going to get ready to jump out these windows once again.
Post up, down hall. Expecting an A hit. Very, very passive out of Tommy, playing outside. Down to the right, but Japanese name for first blood finds Stork. Rotating over towards A, and that's going to be Tommy's turn to jump up and trade this one out. Plays under fire. Tommy, a second one. That's bombed down, and now Garer C, they have to rotate to it.
Oh, and not only do you have to rotate to the bomb, but you got to rotate right into the hands of Tommy, and you're going to get spotted out here. You'll go down. Tommy, I believe that's all 4 in the round for Tommy, Colin.
An ace in round number 3. Green Level just continuing forward with these defenses back and forth, Jesse.
Tommy pops up from the cockpit, finds one, finds the second, snaps onto the second as well. We should say 1,300 damage in 3 rounds. Not too shabby. Not too shabby, Tommy there.
8-1 in round 3? And that's above and beyond.
It's a very good start for Tommy. Now also going to be 2 kills off of that cruise as well. Something that you know what, we talked about it in the last series. Not going to be the most efficient on this map, but can definitely still find some success, like we did see inside of our last series here. Tommy, once again, will be the first player to push up towards this plain portion of the map, going towards the A-bomb. We'll have some reinforcements as well. We're about to have a bang out here, Colin, inside of the alley.
Yeah, Charlie Brown a little bit mixed up here. 3 players on the inside. Plays for the trade. Back and forth. It's Tommy to split the difference. 2 and 1 now on either side. Japanese name. If there's anybody who's going to clutch up, it will be this player. But Tommy has been a different beast so far. 10 and 1. Now, Japanese name against the clock. 39 seconds. Immediately going to give away his position. Now has to walk into the crossfire, but right away. I love that from Green Level. Takes the fight head on, no matter who it is.
Yeah, they don't really care. I mean, MX here, just kind of JJ plays MX, just kind of waiting for the player. Doesn't see anything through Jewel. Decides, hey, you know what? I'm just gonna maybe peek my eye out here into the hallway. We'll find that player immediately on the pushing down into the plane, and it's been a very good start. I mean, 3 and 1, you can't really complain for the side of Green Level. I think that if you're Garer C, you're looking at Charlie Brown and Mr. Goofball right now. Really, either need to slow it down to find some success here, or just need to just straight up just start to really push out to give their team an opportunity here to find some, at least some information here from their lights.
Pole box to be shut down. Japanese name finds 2. Still alive for a moment, but Stork puts an end to the tyranny. Now backing down the escalator. Pressure ensuing in Japanese name. So it's Mr. Goofball hitting the full rotate from A. Stork has no idea, but he's about to be blindsided. How does Stork live? Now Tommy turns this into 2v1. Things the other way for Garer C, and Stork has an idea where he is, but it's Tommy to put it away. And Green Level, that's 3 rounds in a row.
From a 3v2 to a 1v2 very, very quickly there for the side of Garer C. And I actually really liked the idea there, though, of that round, Colin. They know Tommy's playing the plain side of the map, so they said, hey, let's send 3 players over towards B instead. Guess what? Same outcome, though. Unfortunately, Tommy makes a very quick rotation. Still ends up finding 3 inside of that round. Now on an 8 spree, absolutely tearing it up. Stork also able to find the last kill in the round there as well, as we got to see that come through. This is, it's getting a little out of hand here now for Garer C. You need to find a round very quickly. 4-2 looks a heck of a lot better than being down 5-1.
Of course it does. So Tommy on the front lines here. Good for 1. Where's the trade? Right above him. Nobody here to shut him down. Where's the communication? Charlie Brown should have traded out Tommy, but that's going to put us into a 2 versus 2. Nobody able to pinpoint where exactly this player is. And even off the reload, Stork is there to back him up. Tommy outliving the rest in a 1 versus 4 on site. Tommy just lives, and he's not going down.
Oh, man, these rounds are absolutely chaos. Tommy doing everything in his power to stay alive here, and will find the final kill with Renetti in hand. That Renetti, though, Colin, let me tell you, that gun seems a little strong. I'm surprised. I know we're not ones to talk about GAs very often. I'm surprised that gun has not been GA'd yet. That pistol seems kind of crazy at times.
I mean, a lot of people were saying at GA, keep it in. Keep it in. It's so fun.
I'm here for it. I'm just saying. Usually burst pistols get yanked out of there. I don't think we've seen one since Black Ops 3. A burst pistol stay in the
we had
rotation the whole
Cold
year.
War. Cold War had we had I forget the name of it, but Cold War we were running a burst pistol too. It was a lot of fun. And, you know, even D-Real was saying yesterday is that you put that, you know, Renetti against the Rival 9 up close. The Rival 9 still, most of the time, will win. But there, Popux ends up going down. A Japanese name. Can he keep his team alive now, Jesse? On the flank.
Oh, if he hits this ladder at the right time, might be able to find some success. Oh, spots the player out, doesn't find the kill, but also doesn't go down themselves. The teammates there for all of the trades. Japanese name finds a few, and it's all up to Tommy for the win here. In a 1v4 now. We'll find 2. Oh,
Tommy. Oh, okay. I was going to say for a second. So Guaranteed stay alive, Jesse. They find their second round, and now it's not quite a full sale. And for those, you know, who may not be as familiar with competitive Call of Duty, full sailing a team in Search and Destroy is when a team is up 5-0, then the opposing team puts 6 rounds in a row to hit that comeback right away. It's not quite a full sale because they had that 1 round in before, but it's the next best thing, Jesse.
Yeah, essentially a reverse sweep inside of the game, but not, like you said, not going to happen here. It would be the next best thing to be down 5-1 and be able to figure it out. And let's not forget, Guaranteed, it did take them a little while inside of that first series to really kind of figure out what the side of Arrey Kell was doing inside of the Search and Destroy. Maybe it just took them a little bit longer this time because that was a very strong round out of them. But they were very much so set up for a B push here off the start of this round. Nothing has gone towards B. The bomb very freely moving towards A. And I mean, this is spelling very disastrous. This could be the end of the game here for the side of Guaranteed.
Stork in the plane. Bomb is down. Flank coming out from Japanese name. Seems like Stork has a good idea of this one in the cockpit, and Stork just looks away at the wrong time, but play is not being fooled at all. Tommy's found his 18th of the Search and Destroy, and now his 19th. Charlie Brown, what do you got? A whole lot of nothing in the Search and Destroy in green level after being 2-0'd in their first game of the day. They immediately bounce back, Jesse, with a 2 of their own.
Yeah, nice 6-2 win over Guaranteed there for green level, and I mean, in dominant fashion too, as we can take another look and talk about Tommy in just 1 second here once those stats pop up. MX was able to find the final kill there, but Tommy, for your mommy, 19-2, 14 non-traded, 13 spree, and more damage for himself than the other team had combined.
More damage for himself than the rest of his whole team combined as well. So, I mean, you're asking, what, you know, where did Arrey Kell go wrong, Jesse? They didn't have Tommy. They didn't have Tommy on their team. I mean, Japanese name was just free to do whatever he could in that game number 1. But in game 2, as we kind of alluded to, heading in towards it, somebody on green level needed to go toe-to-toe with them, maybe even go 1 step further than that, and that's where Tommy for your mommy came in.
Absolutely. You know what I'm excited to see now is Tommy versus your mommy versus Swag. I think that's going to be a really fun matchup if we can see those two end up going up against each other at some point, because that might be the best 2 gunnies we've seen so far here through the first 2 days has been Swag Checked and Tommy for your mommy. So that could end up being a very fun matchup we see later on in this tournament possibly.
And I mean, Swag Check said himself in my DMs that he's here to win the whole tournament, and he doesn't believe that anybody can actually beat his team. So, you know, Wake leadership definitely feeling very confident. And after seeing these 2 teams, I can't wait to see Japanese name play Swag Checked, hopefully. I can't wait to see Tommy play Wake leadership either. It is leading into what seems like a very fun bracket play, Jesse, and I am loving so far all the action we have here in the VESL Call of Duty Esports League. But that is going to be it for our second game of the night, Jesse. As I was talking about before we went to our last break into our second game, we have changed up our match number 3. So coming up next, we got Newburn B versus Lee County B on stream with a Skid Row hardpoint. I'm excited, folks. You don't want to go anywhere because we will be right back with some more action after this break. Welcome back, everybody, to the VESL Call of Duty Esports League. My name is Seymour. With me, Cruz, all night long. Jesse, we've been watching the action here inside of this high school league yesterday, as well as this is the day 2 of the groups. But we've seen Group C. We got a little bit of a double dose for matches 1 and 2, both 2-0 sweeps. We have still yet to see it control you and I. So as we head into our next set of matches, we can take a look into Group H now as we get a double dose of this group, Jesse.
Yeah, we do. We get a nice double dose of this, and it's going to be Newburn B versus Lee County B that we haven't seen yet. And so it's going to be an 0-1 team going up against a 1-0 team, but that does not always tell the full story, as we just saw from our last matchup on stream, Colin.
Yeah, green level, 0-1. Heading into that match inside of our second match of the day, and then they just completely took over. So I'm right there with you. Stats right now, I think they're a little bit lying to us, Jesse. So I'm excited to see if Newburn B can turn things around, because our last match of the day also will be Newburn B versus Riverside. So we're going to be taking a look at this team not only once, but twice. And Lee County High at the same exact time with a 1-0 start yesterday, Jesse, heading into today. If they can, finish off Newburn B inside of this third match, they're going to put themselves in a great spot at potentially pushing into the bracket tomorrow.
For sure, a great position to be in and going up against Mayor's Park in that final matchup, and hopefully able to just walk away with a victory there for themselves as well, kind of solidify themselves at the top of that group there. But yeah, I'm right there with you. I think this could be a really, really fun one here. Hopefully we see a good performance out of Newburn, because we see them twice. That's kind of a must-win matchup now that you're 0-1, right? Like we were talking about earlier, it's very hard to make it out of groups when you start 0-1, because it basically just guarantees, like, hey, we now need to win our next 2 matches to really give ourselves a fighting chance.
Exactly. So heading in towards this best of 3, as I kind of said, we have yet to see a control, Jesse, and I'm really, really hoping that we do, because I want to cast some control in MW3. We got high rises all picked off the board, but we have yet to see it inside of that third map of the day. But for map number 1, we're starting on Terminal, from what it looks like.
Yep.
So we're going back in towards Terminal. I kind of spoiled and, maybe teased that it was going to be Skid Row, but I was wrong. That is on me. I had some false intel that Jesse provided me, but he fixed it, and now it seems like we're going to Terminal.
That's crazy. First of all, okay, we had a match change, and Colin just read the old report. Okay, this one's on Colin.
False intel.
I didn't fix it in time, honestly. So I guess we can say that one's partially on me. I'm happy though. I'm here for Terminal. I didn't really want to see a Skid Row hardpoint, anyways. All right, how about that?
No, I mean, I would have liked to see Skid Row hardpoint. We've been looking at Karachi. We've been seeing Terminal. I would like to see, maybe we've seen a bit of Invasion too. I would love to see a Skid Row hardpoint, because we've seen a Skid Row search and destroy so far within this high school league, but we haven't seen a Skid Row hardpoint. But across from that, we will get high-rise search and destroy for map 2 as well in this series, Jesse. Unfortunately, we don't get to see the sniper battle that I'd like to see on high-rise, but
you just love the chaos at the start of the round.
I love the chaos with the snipers. I will never not love the chaos with the snipers, Jesse, and you know that. And I know that you're the same way, so I don't know why you're bringing that up to me like that.
Hey, I mean, we all love the chaos, the snipers, but I mean, there's nothing that enrages me more than starting a game of Search and Destroy on high rise, especially, like, I'm just thinking back to the beta and completely forgetting that there's that cross map snipe that everybody can hit. You run out and you're playing the 24-hour playlist on high rise and just immediately just getting sniped off the start of every single round, and it is just
don't
very,
forget.
very frustrating. And then you just got to learn how to, hit the underground routes, everything like that. I mean, I'm sure we'll break into it once we get on to high rise a little bit later on. But that map, it can be a lot of fun. I don't know how much I love high rise search and destroy. I'm not going to lie to you. I think that could be one of the maps I think might end up coming out as the game goes along. I feel like there's not a whole lot of diversity to high rise search and destroy. Like, there's a lot of different spots you can go with the bomb for sure. Without snipers, it does make it a little bit better, I think. But man, there's just so much open space over middle of the map that sometimes it's a little frustrating to play.
Yeah, players have even, I'm pretty sure, GA'd the crane too, on the outside of the map,
really?
since it's technically outside the map. They have it's been a GA'd position, because it just adds, I guess, a spot on the map that takes your attention away from the actual map itself. So I'm pretty sure that's also a GA'd spot, so people don't get to go out to the crane. So everything's just kind of cut and dry for high rise, and I'm right there with you. I don't know if it's even a hot take at this point that I do think that high rise is going to be one of the first search and destroy maps that we might be seeing leave the rotation as soon as players find a map that they deem worthy of competitive play here in Modern Warfare 3. But nonetheless, I'm excited to see High Rise for that map number 2, especially between these two teams.
And we haven't seen one yet either, right? So
I
don't think we saw one
think
yesterday.
so. I'm like trying to think. Somehow in my mind, I was thinking that maybe we saw a High Rise Search and Destroy yesterday, but I think this is the first time that we're seeing High Rise here on stream. So getting that is going to be a good, fun time, especially considering, you know, our whole, I guess, storyline for a lot of these teams, Jesse, has been our teams going to be the hardpoint dominated teams, or are they going to be, you know, search and destroy dominant teams? Because a lot of the time we do tend to see teams a lot better in that second game mode.
Yeah, especially if they're struggling in that first game mode, right? Because you can slow down a lot more. You can play more to your pace. You don't really have to just deal with another team of just straight players running at you as fast as possible, just hitting hills over and over and over again. So yeah, I'm right there with you. You know what I'm really excited for from this series, Colin? I'd be really excited to kind of see who might pop off in this series as well, because that's something that we've noticed a lot throughout a lot of our series as well today, is that throughout the weekend, I guess you can say, is that we've seen a few players here and there that have really begun to pop off and really have an ability to carry their teams on their back. And I'm interested to see if we get one or two of those players here in this series as well.
And I feel like at this point, now that we've seen, you know, players like Swag Check, players like Japanese name, especially Tommy, you know, for your mommy, who we saw last game, it's kind of that situation that now we need to see teams with a pop-off player like that, because you might be able to get out of the groups, you know, scrape your way out of these groups. But as soon as you get into the bracket play, if you want to be inside of that top 3, you're going to now need somebody who can combat against those really high, I guess, valued players that we're looking at inside of the series.
Yeah, I really love that you bring that up too, because you're right. It's not even that it's like, oh, I wonder who's going to. It's like we need somebody to. You're absolutely correct. That somebody to combat with a Tommy for your mommy, with a Swag Check, right? Even with a Japanese name, right? Like they were all playing very, very well through their series. So it'll be interesting to see here. And this is a very interesting break off from the side of Newburn.
Of course it is. Yes, your boy gonna be sitting inside the hill, soaking up this time. 9 seconds already. Here comes Newburn. They were late to the hill, but here they come. Your boy, good for one. Traded next up into the hill. QUALIFIERS here to fight off. Contention's in for the moment, but still back and forth for Lee County B, trying to hold on to this time. It is a very scrappy hill, as we usually expect.
Yeah, very scrappy. I mean, I'm impressed with Newburn's ability to be able to get any time on this hill, considering they did not chow the hill off the break one bit, and then now are able to get inside of this and collect some time here while having Aquatic watch over their back. But it looks like towards the end of this, it's just going to be scrap time going the way of Lee County B. They're able to pull off the last few seconds, and you know, we're seeing some players already off the bat here, Colin, that I am already pretty impressed by.
Yeah, I'm really impressed by Xerox 4 and 2. I think your boy soaking up that time early on, staying alive like the way he did. Very important for Lee County. But Rival 9 in the hand of Renegade pieces together a quick double kill, and Newburn in control of the rotations for the moment. It's a 1v3 for Renegade inside the hill. Finds the second one with the Rival 9 and stays alive, Jesse, for the help to come. Renegade still a little bit more to do. 4 in a row. Can he make it 5? He cannot. The break in for Lee County, and they have control.
Oh, and you thought the reinforcements might be there for Newburn there in that situation, but unfortunately not. And I just realized we got a president on the screen, JFK, in the lobby as well, Colin. 4 and 3.
Mr. President, get down.
Starting off very well.
Yeah, we're looking at the Secret Service of Lee County B here inside of the server. PvP Clapper, what an angle there to continue to hold this clock for scrap time. Unfortunately, Newburn B not going to be able to have that rotation over towards the plane. It's John F. Kennedy ready to soak up this time once more.
JFK got to be careful here. Holding down a lane into this little elbow portion of the map, and unfortunately only finds one before going down. No reinforcements yet there for Lee County B. They're all kind of making their way towards the plane at the moment, but it's not going to matter. Seth Lander made a great play coming around the backside, able to get up through the ladder and be able to get inside of the hill. And, I mean, I thought it was great, but unfortunately all the tides turn back to Lee County as they're able to get everybody get back inside of the hill.
And Newburn B, I mean, they're shooting really well right now, Jesse, but I feel like they're just lagging a little bit behind when it does come down to these rotations, and we've seen it punish teams before, and now 84 and 34. You see Lee County B, their lead just is looking really, really solid here on Terminal.
Yeah, it is. It's looking really great. Continuing to lock down more time as we go across the map. We're going to have a big one-on-one. It's going to get one, of course, by Lee County B. There should be another one-on-one going their way as well. PvP Clapper just needs to find the last bullet, will find it, and will now be able to try to get their way inside of that hill. But more reinforcements. Spawns are kind of all over the place right now. Finally, we'll get some stabilized spawns. Here's Newburn going to be taking up the escalator side. Coming from security will be the rest of the Lee County players. And now they finally have a chance to solidify some time around this hill.
Well, JFK going to drop a trophy. Lay down, hit the deck, Mr. President, and soak up that time. Lee County B, no, over triple digits, Jesse, and still so much here on Burger Town for them to collect. Qualtac maybe looking for some eyes on, but you see Newburn really starting to fall behind here. And I don't know if this is going to be salvageable at this point. Seth Lander looking for a separate angle now on the cross. Some nice shots, but has to now close this distance. The trophy system won't allow that stun to really have any impact. And a last chance break for 2 seconds, Jesse. It needed to be about 58 seconds sooner.
It did. It really did. And I really liked the overextension that we saw from the side of Seth Lander, and I thought, oh man, this could be so great. They could find their way into this hill. The unfortunate portion of that is they break into the hill way too late, and now you give an opportunity over to Lee County to be able to hold on to a good chunk of time here at the library. Trades will just continue to rain down back and forth, but it's Mr. President standing tall.
Yes, it is. Minute 30 in the hill. Here comes Seth Lander. Slides on in. Won't be able to get a second one. Trades in, and now advantage. 3 quick kills for Lee County, as this is just their game to lose here on Terminal. They showed up, Jesse, and they are ready to continue to win inside of this group.
They absolutely do. And I mean, this has been a thrashing so far here from Lee County B. They're doing a great job of making all these rotations work out fully in their favor. Renegade has a massive one-on-one here to try to pull off, to try to give his team an opportunity to claw some of this game back. But again, they just are not in any position to really make these trades at the moment. All the trades, for the most part, going in the favor of Lee County B, and they continue to run this score up just a little bit further here for themselves.
Qualtac a little confused on where that last player was. Jake, nice break now for Newburn. This is some much needed time, Jesse, because albeit 184 for Lee County, I hate to say it, but with the way that Terminal plays, this is still quite doable for Newburn, but they need to turn it on now.
They really do. 150 seconds will be the lead, and Newburn continues to just get dropped as they try to push Old Hill after Old Hill. And now, Colin, they really don't have a choice but to hit Old because of how far down they are. They need to take any points away from Lee County B that they can. And unfortunately, they might not even touch this hill. It's going to be up to just this final player. Coming from the back, it's Renegade. Will find 2. Need to hop on, grab those 5 seconds at the very least. And wow, we will find all 3 great kills, but I mean, this might just be a little too late here in this game at this point.
I mean, even in all this chaos, even in all of this darkness right now for Newburn B, Renegade has been impeccable in this Rival 9. A lot of pop-off plays for this player. Now Seth Lander inside the hill, grabbing this time. Nice raid onto Xerox, but won't be able to find the kill. Xerox, a quick double, and now in position for 3, though Qualtac with the immediate answer back. And now it's your boy looking for a way back in, finds the first kill, should be cleaned up in the second, and Seth Lander, yes, will find that kill. So Newburn B slowly and very slowly finding their way back into this, Jesse.
They are, and this is where it does get a little bit scary now. If you're Newburn, though, is going into Hill 3, going into the point, this is where we really saw Lee County start to pull it together inside of our last set of rotations, and they're going to look to try to do it again here. If I'm Lee County, I would have been rotating maybe a little bit early to get set up in that plane, but instead we're going to get another big one-on-one for the play.
I mean, all they really need to do is rotate and grab a little bit of time here, a little bit of time there, Jesse, and it's a recipe for success. On the other side, disaster for Newburn B. Now they have to break and play, and Seth Lander looks like he wants to take the fight outside. That's a Renetti at distance. Incredible shots. Now up the ladder. JFK is going to be watching it. 2 kills for Lee County. 17 seconds for the win. Jake just on the outside of ramp, slowly working his way in towards this plane. But your boy turns around, finds one, finds two. Your boy, yet again, another shutdown. It's all down to Seth. Can he win it out? He cannot. So Lee County B, with an incredible terminal hardpoint, Jesse, lead the series.
Yeah, very good job by them there inside of that. 250 at the end there for themselves to 107 on the side of Newburn. A great showing inside of that map number 1 by Lee County. And honestly, I think it really comes down to your boy playing very, very strong. I mean, this team just looks very, very good from the start to the finish there. I will say maybe got a little rough around the edges through that, but yeah, it was really, I think, up to Xerox and your boy. The way they pulled together towards the end of that game, I mean, look at that, 3,500 damage, 3,600 damage. Can't really get much better than that. But Colin, I will say, in terms of all of our matches so far, that felt like one of the more even matches in terms of slaying across the board from both sides.
I mean, you took the words right out of my mouth, Jesse. We came into this series thinking we need to see at least one person step up to the plate for Lee County B, or really for either team. But for Lee County, every single player had a great game, whether it was down to the slaying or whether it was down to who's going to hop in that hill and collect that time. Everybody was doing their part, and that is even more important, I would say, rather than just looking at one player to pop off.
Absolutely, and I stole your words, you stole my words a little bit there, and I agree with you. I think that it's very important to not only just have one player that's popping off, but to have multiple players who are playing strong to a consistent level, right? And once you start getting players who are playing very strong and also playing consistent, that's when those one singular players on the other teams aren't really going to be able to make that big of a difference, because you'll have multiple players on this team who can really try to shut that down, so it stops those big pop-off performances from happening.
Yeah, so now heading in towards the search and destroy, I feel like for Newburn, this is where they need to find that turning point, Jesse, inside of the game of, you know, who's going to step up to really, I guess, be that X factor for the team inside of search. It's a lot slower, so maybe they're going to feel a little bit more comfortable on this map. But at the same time, I'm sure you can argue and say that with how good that Lee County are looking all across the board with all 4 members, it might need to be more of a team effort from Newburn.
Yeah, it could be. I think that we could see both these teams doing really well inside of this search and destroy. I see a lot of small things that I think that Newburn could do really, really well inside of this game. Lee County was doing well inside of that first game in terms of being able to kind of challenge with your teammates, find those couple kills, and then of course you've got your players who are running around just absolutely like maniacs as well, like we did see inside of that game 1. But I think you go into this one, I think you have a couple of players who can slow things down, find that first blood. It seems like everybody on both sides of the teams were very competent as well when it comes to just knowing how competitive Call of Duty works inside of that first game. So that could be something that shows a lot here going into the search and destroy, which a lot of players do generally prefer. I know, like myself personally, like if I have to choose between playing search and hardpoint all night, I'm playing search. Like it's just more fun for me. So I mean, hey, you never know, there could be other players like that too.
I'm the complete opposite.
Oh, I know you are.
Play
That's why I mean you don't play together.
Yeah. Well, you know, it's also because, as, you know, stated yesterday, for those who were watching, he's going to shoot me in the back while I'm sitting in the hill. But
hey,
you know,
only if a nuke is on the line, though.
I am going to hold that over your head for the rest of the year, Jesse, and you will not escape it at all. But for heading into the search and destroy, Newburn, they really need to figure out a way into this one, because as we were kind of talking about heading in towards this series as well, 0-1 to start off Group H. Newburn, I mean, this is where they were kind of in a situation where you must win the series, or you might be counting your run here inside of the VESL Call of Duty Esports League over.
Yeah, absolutely. And this is where now this map is a must win, right? Like that last map, not a must win. You do have 2 more after to fall back onto, but you need to go back to back now on high rises. We have it for the search. We have it for the control. Show us that you're a better high rise team. Get some momentum under your belt, because not only do you need to take this one, you need to take both to give yourself a real chance at being able to make it out of this group stage.
Let's run it in. High rise, set and ready to go. Lee County starting on the defense. Newburn, the offense, posturing over towards A. But look at this setup from Lee County. 3 players going to be here. Seth Lander, fantastic on this MCW. Starts off with not 1, but 2 kills to open up round number 1. And they get out with their life, only losing Qualtech.
Oh, and a nice kill from Renegade as well. Through middle of the map. You do get a trade across, though, from Xerox, and now it's a 1v1. Bomb does need to go down, and I'm interested to see what we end up seeing Renegade do with this bomb.
Yeah, and with Renegade sitting underground, I mean, so much room to just keep Xerox guessing. No information on where this last player is. Renegades rotated all the way back over towards A, but Xerox has flipped this map completely, and they might just meet each other up top. Xerox doesn't spot the high ground control now. Is there for Renegade, though. 30 seconds left. When will their paths meet? I mean, they are getting the worst timing ever, Jesse. I'm going to rip my hair out if they pass each other yet again. Renegade and Xerox, neither of them having favor into this. Xerox questioning where this last player could be. It is a game of hide and seek with 10 seconds left. Xerox turns the wrong way. Oh! That is Spain without the S.
Colin, oh my goodness, man. That was like 2 ships passing each other in the night, but like times it by 10. It's like 10 ships passing each other in the night and not seeing a soul in sea. That was absolutely insane. Nobody could catch a COD timing there to save their lives.
It's like a game of cat and mouse, but both players are simultaneously the cat and the mouse at the same time.
I mean, it comes down to even that last one, right? Like, Xerox caught the worst timing ever at the end there. Held that angle, and then as soon as he looks away, turns back, gone. Players moved on by. They find you, they shoot you in the back. Very tough spot to be in there. But now, as we start into our second round, it looks like Jake's going to try to make the play towards the outside of Propane. Can't find anything. And PvP Clapper will find both Jake and Renegade here inside of the round, and that's going to be an early round lead, or early life lead for Lee County. And actually, never mind, they're just going to line up and take him out at the knees.
Okay, blink and you miss it. It's done. It's over. Well, round 3, here we come. Xerox catching the timing onto 2 members. And they line up, Jesse. They line up for Xerox. 5-1.
It makes up for last round, right? When you couldn't catch a timing, now you get them to lining up, find the kills, shoot them through, collide it, whatever you need to do, just get the job done there. Now, back on to offense for Newburn. First offense was not the craziest thing. Let's see what they can do here this time through. They were able to pull that round off, but it took a lot of late round shenanigans to get that one there for themselves. And it looks like we're going to see a very heavy B push here right off the rip now from Newburn.
Jonathan, all the way underground. What a shot there. Onto Sethlander, the one who began this game with a double kill, but since then has died 3 times in a row, Jesse. And look, Xerox now looking to see if you can repeat and catch that timing yet again, but Renegade head on a swivel. JFK next up, but dropped by Renegade. 2 in a row. A quick double puts Newburn back in the lead.
It does, and now you got Jake as well pushing underneath the bottom here. Still needs to try to find another kill just to give themselves a chance here inside of this round, but not going to find anything here. PvP Clapper is doing a really good job of just watching one portion of the map, making sure that nobody can do anything funny. No funny business over there. A couple shots will go down through the middle of the map, but these players cannot find out where the Newburn players are right now if their lives depend on it.
Slowly up the stairs. PvP Clapper falls. 1 versus 3 now for your boy, and luckily here to maybe stop the defuse. 13 seconds left. Down. Renegades just has to stay alive here and use their numbers to overwhelm your boy, but the bomb also has to go down to the propane. Oh no, Jesse, your boy, 1 versus 1. Time in his side.
Oh my.
And Lee County B counting their blessings on the propane.
It's not even just the propane, though. Your boy almost threw that round at the very end, too, Colin. I mean, he was 1 bullet away from losing. If that round timer did not go off in that split second, that was a round loss there and a round win going the way of Newburn. But instead, Lee County will be able to pull that one off, now up 2-1.
I can't believe that just happened. I mean, wow. Did you ship over some of that propane to them, Jesse?
Oh, you know I did.
I know you did. Newburn, I mean, I would be a little heated after that one, but let's see their mental resolve to see if they can bounce back into this next round after a 3 versus 1 clutch for your boy. PvP Clapper, some unfortunate shots through the fence line. Jake starts off with the first blood, and with all this height, might even find a second one. 3 versus 2, as there was a trade from Xerox. But your boy with the bomb has to take this really, really slow.
Yeah, and try to make their way over towards A is what the game plan seems to be at the moment, but it's not going to be easy, especially now with information coming through. Jake will drop down, Drake will end up falling, so we do have a 2v2. Nobody really in position to stop this A bomb from going down, but a pinch is very quickly developing.
And Renegade gets the timing, finds one, the trade, 1v1 yet again for your boy. And here comes Qualitac. On the rotation, 30 seconds. Caught in the open, and your boy does it again. Lee County just cannot keep getting away with it.
Yeah, Newburn keeps getting these situations down to the very end where you need to be able to pull them off, and unfortunately, your boy finishes another one, and they cannot come even close right now to pulling that off there. What is that, 4-1, 3-1 now? Yeah, 3-1 for the side of Lee County B. They are looking solid right now.
They're looking absolutely fantastic inside of this game. You know what? And, you know, everything, Jesse, is kind of playing in their favor as well. I mean, High Rise is definitely playing favorites right now, I feel.
It definitely is. And Seth Lander's going to take a very wide peek here. Not find any of the players, but will find a death very quickly as he was seen immediately upon challenging that corner there. Now JFK is going to try to push their way up through bottom. Never mind, they're going to take the back route through pipes, but unfortunately, I thought they were toast there after the reload, but they find the kill. On the other side, Jake will fall as well, and Colin, I don't know how they keep doing it. The rounds go down to the very end, but Lee County pulls off another one there.
Like I said, I don't know how many times they can keep getting away with things like this. I mean, Xerox with a slide cancel jumps up, 8 kills now. Oh my goodness, Jesse. This is
Insane
one
stuff.
of the most insane high-rise search and destroys I've seen so far in my limited time spectating search and destroy inside of this game. 1-4 Newburn. I mean, this could very well be a 3-3 game.
Be a 3-3 game. Even Newburn might be able to have 4 themselves at this point, right?
Like,
and it has been
2-2. This could be anything.
Yeah, it really could be. It's been very crazy between these two teams, and neither team really making any massive adjustments yet either. It's more so been a lot of, hey, let's just push up, try to get map control before the other team does, and Xerox is doing a great job of that right now. We'll find the first. Wall bangs for the second as well, and if you thought it was a 4v4, well, now we're down to a 2v4.
Yeah, Xerox is starting to heat up here. Now the propane playing in favor, but it doesn't matter. Xerox has already slipped the net 5 in a row. Looking for their 6, 32 seconds with the bomb planted over towards B. It has to be not only 1v3 when it comes down to kills, but you have to do it with 7.5 seconds left into that defuse. So Jake now going to be known, finds that first kill, slides on in. Immediately it's Lee Counting, putting it to rest. 5 rounds in their favor, 1 away from 2-0ing the series.
I think that was their cleanest round yet so far, though, in all honesty.
I agree.
They got that bomb down. They were able to hold post-plant positions and play that very strong for themselves there. So good job. Well done job by them there to be able to find those kills, be able to get those those portions done. Now up 5-1, 1 round left away from being able to close things out, not just in the game, but inside of the whole series here, Colin.
Yeah. Really, really close for Lee County B, and this could be them taking the helm of Group H as well, Jesse. It all comes down to this for Newburn. How much resolve do they have? And already you see player number 6 getting really aggressive. John F. Kennedy looking for the timing to flip the map around. Xerox not too far away from these Newburn players. First kill's going to be there. Both stacked to the corner. Jake finds the trade, but the damage is already done, and they know exactly where this last member is. 1 versus 3 for Jake. Brian yet again pops the dead silence, but there's so much work to be done, and he doesn't even have the bomb. Jesse out in the open, nothing playing in his favor. Finally spotted out, and that's gonna be it. Lee County B taking 2-0 now inside of Group H.
Yeah, great round there by Lee County B once again. I mean, they get that bomb into a very good spot and then immediately just use the teammates to close that one down there. And I mean, hey, I thought for a second there's a chance that Newburn was going to be able to pull that one off, and not the case at all there. And hey, I mean, take a look across the board. Very even slaying on both sides once again here. Just really comes down to the fact that Lee County has just a very, very good job of being able to close out a lot of those close situations, close inside of the hard point, and then close as well inside of that search and destroy. And a lot of those rounds, just able to clutch up that 1v1 to that final 2v2 to be able to put away for their team.
Yeah, I'm really, really looking at your boy throughout that search and destroy too, Jesse. I mean, how many times? I gotta actually say it's just 2 really impactful kills or rounds at the start of that search and destroy for them to start growing that lead. And I think a couple of those rounds probably pretty frustrating if you're a Newburn player. And the fact that your boy wins out on 2 clutches back to back, one being a 1v1, one being a 1v3, Jesse, you could start to see how frustrated Newburn were getting as the game kept on going on.
Yeah, it definitely didn't get prettier, right, as the game went on. And it's unfortunate for them because even the first hard point, a little bit close at first, then just kind of New County runs away with it. And then, or sorry, Lee County runs away with it. And then same with this one, Search and Destroy. It was very dominated by them, but it was a lot slower rounds than what we saw in the last series. So still dominant, but just not as crazy.
Yeah, exactly. Not as crazy at all. When it comes down to it, though, it's going to be Lee County B holding that #1 spot right now inside of Group H with a 2-0 count. 4-0 when it comes down to their maps. We're going to head to a quick little break as we get set up, Jesse, for our last match of the night. The last match that you and I are going to be seeing here in the group stages, as I'm pretty sure we're going to be heading in towards the bracket tomorrow, and I am super, super excited.
Absolutely.
Riverside versus Newburn B coming up very soon, folks. You don't want to miss it on the other side of this break. Welcome back everybody to the VESL Call of Duty Esports League. My name is Seymour, with me Cruising. We've been running through these matches all night long, Jesse. 3 matches in, and every single one of them a 2-0 sweep. So as we head into our last match of the night, inside of Group A, Riverside versus Newburn B. I got a little bit of insight for you, Jesse. Riverside, this is their first match of the group. Although them being 1-0, their first match was a forfeit. So this is going to be their first game that they get to play, first time that we get to see them.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that's very exciting for Lee County, who really for Newburn B, who really struggled in that last series. Now to go up against a team who hasn't even played a series yet together, that could be a big advantage. Even though you've lost, you've gotten some time to build some team chemistry inside of the event already. So that's going to give you a good opportunity to really kind of come out, walk away with a victory here. And you absolutely need one now if you're Newburn B. Like, you've already kind of stepped back. You're in that 0-2 range now where it's going to be very tough. You're going to need some tiebreakers to go to your way to make it out of groups now. This needs to be a win, and it needs to be a convincing win here for the side of Newburn.
It really does. It really, really does. And, you know, maybe even thinking after that search and destroy, some of those rounds were very winnable too. So let's see how they turn it around heading into this hard point. Back on terminal, Newburn B, a lot to work on here. And already a little bit of a change, Jesse. They're contesting P1, so at least they're fighting back here in Seth. Inside the hill, a nice triple kill to start getting some time.
Yeah, not only just contesting P1, winning P1 as well. They did a great job of challenging through middle of the map, through the glass windows as well, to be able to find that success going across the sky bridge, and they find a good amount of success there. Off the rip, Sethlander is on 4, gonna chow out. That is a crazy chow on 4 in a row, I'm just saying.
I mean, it works for Jenks, and a triple kill right back into it. And Riverside, albeit they get broken, they break back in. Jake's going to hit prone. Back in for a little bit of scrap time here. 4 seconds. The team nade keeps it away, and it is a race over towards P2. Who is there? It is Newburn B, already on the rotation.
Great rotation here from Newburn over here inside of the new hill already, and you are going to need to push into some very small choke points, and unfortunately a team nade comes through. That is not how you want to start that. You do at least get one. Now everybody else is going to have to try to find their way through. Jinx will be the first player of contact.
Yeah, Jinx still immediately shut down. 3 kills for Newburn, and they're off to a hot start, Jesse. I don't know if it's the previous match, but they definitely seem to be feeling themselves right now. Newburn, 48 seconds, and now crossing that 50-point marker. Lion Club looking to see if Riverside can maybe hit this cross into it in the contention. Looking to be set up here, looking to heal up. Jinx finds a first one. What an explosive way to be shut down. A team nade from Jinx, and that is so unfortunate.
Oh no, Colin, the team nades in this tournament have been going absolutely crazy. And for the 3rd hill in a row, we're going to see an early setup and rotation here from Newburn as they lock into plane early.
Yeah, Jinx slides in, finds one, still alive. Almost goes for the challenge, but I like this. Bait and switch out off the stun. Does not matter. Ice cold setup from Newburn, Jesse.
Oh, and look at them pushing out as well. They're going to push out these spawns over towards security, make it that much harder. You've got cutoffs through middle of the map as well. It's not just going to be a cakewalk into the plane here for the side of Riverside. They've got first point of contact to deal with, and that is a very good job there. And another team nade comes through.
And another one right there. Riverside really starting to fall behind here. 16 to 107. Lion Club looks like they want to set up for one last shot at this one, but they have no idea. The back plane, it's occupied by Renegade. It's going to be scrap time, and look at this, Jesse.
Rotation
for Newburn.
Wow. I feel like we're watching a completely different Newburn than what we just seen. I think that maybe should go into how good of a team Lee County B is from what we've seen in that last series as well, Colin. But Newburn, they look incredible right now here off the rip. They do have a player already inside a hill. It is Jake once again, and Colin, a 4th team nade of the map.
They just keep on counting for Riverside. That is going to lead to a very hard comeback now for them. Crossfire set up from Burgertown. Really, Jake just needs to stay down on the ground. Another team nade and a self nade from Jinx, Jesse. Oh,
I can't. That's 6 deaths in the game to team nades or self nades so far here for this team. That is is not going well right now. And the side of Newburn B is running the score up. Now the rotation over to Library. Lost Nemesis will win one. I think he might be playing on 1,000 cents, at least for what that just looked like for a second there. But able to find one, nothing more. Everybody looks like they're trying to make a push over towards P1, but we still got P5 to go, Colin.
Yeah. P5 heading in towards the Library. QUALIFIERS 4 in a row. A little bit of pressure from either side pops up, but has a little bit of backup too. Now looking to push Newburn B in towards 200 points and beyond, Jesse. So 41 seconds cannot cement you a win here, but you can get close if you're Newburn. And Riverside, they know that, so they want to contest this right away with 16 seconds. They got to go. They got to go now. So the setups here is the nades. Trophies will not back them down, but no damage to follow this one up.
Hey, Newburn
Still struggling here.
They needed
on Riverside for the slide, and immediately Newburn just shut them all down.
Running out of ammo now is Jake inside of this. That's how you know you've lived her way too long, when you can't find ammo in a competitive map, when there are people all over the place following, and you should be able to find ammo anywhere. Next rotation over towards P1. We might have a rotation win here by Riverside. One final player left. They will go down, and Lion Club needs to stay strong if they want to pull this map off somehow.
Oh, Lion Cub finally putting some kills on for Riverside. 3 and 10 on a 2 spree. Heads up awareness for the flank, but it's going to be down to Nemesis to shut that one down. Now Riverside's finally started to put some time on for their team. Smokes out for Newburn. Trophy down right now for Riverside to start finding these kills. Lion Cub, another one. It's 4 in a row, Jesse. Could this be the time where they start to turn their way back in towards their series? It's going to be hard for the comeback. It seems impossible, and it just might be. But I love that Riverside, they just never gave up.
It feels like inevitable right now, and with 2 seconds left needing to be scored here, there's a very high chance that this game ends. But it looks like we might get a final rotation. No, the trades will go down in favor of Jake. And Newburn B, I mean, finally, they pop off here in map number 1, and they show Riverside, hey, like, we came to play. We need to win this match. It's a must-win for them, and they pull it off.
A 50-point club on Terminal, Jesse. After how close their game was versus Lee County B, now they get to show up and really show what they're truly made of. Sethlander starts off with a triple kill, ends 11 and 9. Not the most highlight game, I'd say, for Seth, but a fantastic start. And it's QUALIFIERS who incredibly, turned themselves around and towards this series. I mean, I don't think... personally, I would say QUALIFIERS was the least performing player in their match versus Lee County, and to show up and go 19-8, this turnaround is something else. Like you said, it almost seems like a brand new team.
Yeah, it did, and it felt like it, right? Still, you know what? Sethlander did a great job off the start of that game, and then really slowed down as the game went along. But honestly, didn't really need to do much more than what they were able to do. They got all the kills the team needed. Every rotation felt like it was won by Newburn B, maybe outside of the final rotation of P1. I think that was the first one that we saw that we actually saw a rotational battle won over by Riverside. But outside of that, though, I mean, that was just all Newburn B. And I think if you're Riverside and you're taking a look at that map, Colin, I think one thing that you want to look at, majority of what was going wrong was hitting hills way too late into the hill. I know this is something, and this is going to be a repetitive talking point until we get into maybe the later rounds where we have teams that are maybe a little bit more experienced than each other going at it, because they were just hitting hills so late on some of those hills. Like for example, P4 was, 5 seconds left, and we're 4 hitting Burger Town with P5 popping on the other side, right? It's just those small, minute little details that can really change the game. Like if they get an early setup there and get 120 seconds there from there to P1 after getting the control there off the second round, I mean, it definitely could have been a swing of a game. Would have been hard to come back, absolutely, but those are the small things that can absolutely make a difference for you.
And I feel like that's going to be not only a talking point that we have throughout this tournament, but I think that's going to be a talking point we have for a lot of teams throughout the start of MW3. These rotations, it's something that, we've seen before in Call of Duty, but we haven't really seen to this scale in quite a while. Maybe even back in towards, Modern Warfare 2019 with how big the maps were, at that time. But even still, it is a huge scale difference when it comes down to some of these maps in Modern Warfare 3 and how it works inside of Hardpoint. So it's a big learning curve for some of these players who might not be experienced on maps like these. But this is going to lead into our Search and Destroy now. Map number 2 coming up. We're heading back to High Rise as well for Newburn. And with how they were able to change up their playstyle inside of Terminal Search or Terminal Hardpoint so quickly, you can only imagine the difference that we're going to see inside of the Search and Destroy as well.
And I think one thing that we saw from Newburn that we're really going to need to focus on here in the Search and Destroy, that they're going to need to focus on, I should say, they need to make sure they're getting top heli control. They were not doing that at all during the last Search and Destroy, and they were getting picked apart round after round because they could not get up on top of that helicopter and find the success that they needed to inside of that game of Search and Destroy. So I think that's what Newburn is going to need to really focus on. You get top heli, you might be able to stop the bleeding a little bit. And Colin, we are right into the game. Oh, I'm here for this.
Oh, right away, right into this game, and right on board with Renegade, who has been a demon for Newburn B. Top helipad control. The height is going to probably flourish into a round victory, but Zethlander once again starting off the game with an incredible beginning. Double kill from Seth leads into a steamroll.
Was that a rival 9 from across the map? Oh no, it was an MCW at the end by QualAttack. Okay, I thought that was a rival 9 just the way it like looked when he was getting shot by it. I was like, oh man. I mean, I know that's not a ridiculous range either, but that gun does melt at range as well. I know people have been saying ARs are blessed this year. I think that sub is a little strong as well. So I think guns very nicely balanced at the moment, personally.
Yeah, I mean, both of them. As long as I've always said this, as long as every single gun is overpowered,
then
nothing to worry about. Exactly. You just overpower everything until nothing is overpowered.
Absolutely. That's the Call of Duty way right there.
Yeah. So set up over towards A. 4 players for Newburn looking to gamble on an A hit, but that's not it at all. In fact, there's going to only be one player hiding away. Lion Cub locks down that first blood, stays alive. The rest look to get this bomb down at B.
Oh, and Lion Cub's going to be able to find a second as well, so really good job. It looks like this bomb is rotating, though. No, the bomb falls on B. It's just Jake left.
Might be all you need. Jake makes it into a 1 versus 1. Huey. Not a lot of talk on Huey back in game number 1, but right here, that would wipe the slate clean. 3 streak for Jake. Win this one out. You're on 4 in a row. Closer and closer to that cruise missile, but with the dead silence popped, made the full rotation over towards B, and the timing just works out. 4 in a row for Jake. Newburn, 2 rounds to start off this search.
So selfishly, Colin, I was hoping he was going to walk up on that bomb, check it, and get an assassination. We haven't seen one yet.
No, we haven't seen
and I was so looking forward to it, but unfortunately doesn't catch it. But what Jake does catch there in that round is the ace. So he didn't find any inside of round number 1. We'll find all 4 inside of that round. And honestly, that was a 1v3, maybe a 1v4. I can't recall off the top of my head how many people were left when he first started that, but a very quiet 1v4 and an ace for Jake there inside of that last round. Just made it look very easy.
Yeah, Jake definitely making it look easy. So Riverside back on towards the defense. Let's see if they can start to string together a couple of rounds. Lion Club, first blood in the last round. This time, first blooded the other way. Zethlander looks to start strong here on the attack, and Jake doubles down. 5 in a row. Cruise missile on board for Newburn B. And everybody is getting picked apart by Riverside. Huey's going to get caught out. And that is 3 rounds on the bounce for Newburn B.
Wow. Newburn B. I mean, I said it last game, but it feels like there's a different team plugged in. Are we watching Newburn A this time, Colin? Because they are absolutely cooking right now. This team has come out with a different level of energy here inside of this game, going up against Riverside versus when they went up against Lee County. It's like night and day. It's so different here. And Jake has been absolutely leading the way for this team inside of the Search and Destroy. 5-0, absolutely cooking right now in the kitchen.
Yeah, whipping up something good right now for Newburn. And I like that you say, earlier back on Terminal that this might have more of a testament towards Lee County than Newburn B. Just how good that team was to take them down in a 2-0 fashion, because Newburn are incredible in their own respective right. Individually just stepping up in so many different ways. So cruise missile finds nothing. We're into a 3 versus 3, but check out the rotations already for Newburn. They are not only on the front line, but Renegades here on the back line as well. They push into blue. They get that bomb down, and Jinx 1 versus 3. Information on all of these players, but the job is so tough. First kill is going to be locked down. 43 seconds to get the rest as well, Jesse.
That's big, though. Get away with your life. Unfortunately, will get tagged up. Oh, he's going to chow top heli. Will find one as well. Going to leave himself in a 1v1 situation and find the final kill. A 1v3 for Riverside. Will this be what finally brings them back to life here in this series, Colin?
A spark of life from Jinx. I mean, you might as well say it. Pun fully intended. You and I, Jesse, we jinxed it. It's 4 and 3 out of this player. 3 of those kills in that round alone. And that just might be the lifeline that the team needs to pull themselves back here in the search.
You love to see it. And actually an ace there for Jinx as well. Did get the first inside of that round earlier on. That's like the 4th ace we've seen today, Colin. That is not something that happens normally in Call of Duty. That's what everybody who watches, like, you might see in like Valorant, other games, like aces happen, whatever. They do not happen very often in Call of Duty. So to see it happening like this often today has been something special to see.
Well, so Riverside, let's see if they can rally behind that. It is special for sure, Jesse. But unfortunately, at the same time, Newburn seemed to be back into form. Seth already hitting this flank, already in behind these members over towards A, but unable to find any kills. Qualtech next up, slides out, finds one, snaps the second, not able to finish the kill, runs out of ammo. Nobody's here to back him up, chows it back out. 1 versus 2 for Renegade, now a 1v1. Has an idea where this player is, but has to go on the hunt for it. Renegade hits the reload at just the wrong time, and Renegade will not be able to find the 4th. Riverside continue to claw their way back.
Oh my god, Riverside. Don't do it to us. They're starting to make the comeback here. Nemesis the Renetti at the end of the round will find that final kill and find some success there. This is, Colin, this has been crazy between these two teams. I mean, I'm not going to lie, the way those first 3 rounds went, I thought that this game was kind of on that steady snowball, you know, just starting to roll down the hill. I thought it was coming to an end, but Jinx has brought some life back into this team for Riverside, and they are absolutely bringing the fight back to the side of Newburn B.
I don't even know what to think at this point. I don't even know what the outcome might be. Lion Cub is snapping. I think his sense is going to be pretty high too, but doesn't get the information on the player down low, so somebody from Newburn has slipped the net. Lion Cub now forced to push over towards B. A shot's going to give this away, and now the flank. Renegade gets in behind, not able to find a kill, and still Riverside competing for this round win. 1 versus 2 for Renegade. Has found some timing over behind Propane. Bomb is down, and now Renegade 1 versus 1. Can he get away? He cannot. Newburn. 3 rounds get dropped in a row. We go 3 for 3 on both sides, Jesse.
Riverside, out of nowhere, man. Completely out of nowhere. Jinx now 8 and 4. I think he found 3 in that round for himself. We'll find those couple of kills. I call it, I mean, I'm just going to say it. Those team shots that Riverside shot at each other in the middle of that round there, I think we've all been there before, but tactical team shots they had to win because they drew everybody into them, and they were able to close that round out just like that. And this has been an unbelievable performance from Riverside to pull that back from down 3-0 and how rough this game was looking.
Yeah, maybe a little bit of red dot chasing there from Newburn for sure. You know, might not have been tactical, Jesse. It might not have been on purpose,
we're calling it tactical.
But it worked. You know, a win's a win in my textbook.
An interesting setup here, Colin. Newburn is going to send a very, very slow push through the tunnel and now into B. But you've got pretty much no pressure over here from Riverside except for the players that are sitting around heli.
And originally they gave up helipad, but it's still working out. 1v3 for Jinx. Can you ace yet again? Down to a 2 versus 1. And on the opposite end, Bomb is down for Jinx. So he doesn't know this, but Jinx can play this super slow. I love this reposition back over towards their spawn. They have to worry about the player on top heli while the bomb slowly inches its way back over towards B. Jinx is hightailing it around the map, continuing to keep Newburn guessing.
And Newburn still yet to put this bomb down. You've only got 29 seconds. Remember, you need 5 to get the bomb down. It looks like they're going to go towards B. The bomb has been initiated down. Jinx is in a great spot to be able to find a player when this bomb goes down and somehow gets away without being spotted from heli.
Whoa!
And a 1v1 now left for Jinx again.
Yeah, 11 and 4. Can you make it 7 in a row? The cruise missile. This is absurd. The information is going to be there on Seth. Will it land, though? going out with a bang, but no, the EOD keeps him alive. Now Jinx, understanding exactly where this last player is. Sethlander just has to wait it out. It's Jinx, does he expect him to be in the elevator? Doesn't seem like that's going to be the case. 13 seconds, Jinx has to hop it, swings out, finds the kill. And there's just enough time. Jinx with another ace, Jesse.
Jinx almost did the classic, hit the reload instead of grab the defuse, Colin. Oh my goodness. But he gets the job done. An unreal performance coming out of Jinx right now, putting Riverside on their back.
I'd say, I mean, 2 aces and a search and destroy, Jesse. You figure, you know, you're right to say we don't usually see this many aces in Call of Duty.
I mean,
but
one
to
is
see the
rare.
Same player, ace twice in a row, 12 and 4. This is incredible.
Absolutely unheard of.
So now into the next one. Let's see if Riverside can continue with the success and give us our first control of the week. At least on our main stream. Jake slowly working in towards blue. Quiet as a church mouth. Does it pay off? It will. Double kill for Newburn. Not only Jake, but Renegade, QUALIFIERS, everybody getting a piece of the pie. The bomb's getting planted. Renegade's going to spot that. A flawless round from Newburn.
I think that's a really important round for Newburn after losing 4 straight. You just needed one to kind of stop the bleeding there, Colin. You get the job done. You get the job done. Sorry, I just saw the team name come through at the end there, and I was like, please tell me they did that after everything had gone off, and they did. But a very clean round, very quick. And I think the main goal right now for Newburn is going to be getting Jinx out of the lobby as quickly as possible right now.
Of course, yeah. Getting Jinx down is definitely priority number 1. So, for Newburn B, can they execute on that plan? I mean, they're not playing bad. Newburn are not playing bad at all, Jesse. It's just, Jinx sometimes is getting away with so much timing, so much opportunity, and they're just not trading out some of these players. So it's just going above and beyond in some of those moments. And Sethlander, can you start off with another first blood? No, it's going to be Jake Bryan first down.
That's Sethlander on the right side here. Gets stunned and naded. The worst possible timing to pull out a nade. Now it's just quad tack. Trying to see if he can find the trade at the very least. Not the tactical slide comes through, and not able to pull the gun out fully in that situation. Got to learn the slide cancel to be able to stop that from happening. Will at least find one up top heli and get a power position.
Renegade, they line up, but the Renetti, a little bit better than any MCW up close. QUALIFIERS, no, now all the way up top. Can you pull off the ace? Bomb is down. Both members on Riverside, they know exactly what they need to do, Jesse. Just post up and watch this. But it seems like they want to hunt. They got that itch for the kill. QUALIFIERS going to go back in. Not able to make it a 1v1. Riverside, they play it perfectly shoulder to shoulder for the trade.
I was going to say, there's absolutely no way that Riverside is making that comeback there, that they're going to push into that. That would have been absolutely a death sentence. But they find the kill. Now in a up 5-4 after being down 0-3 inside of this map. Unreal stuff to bring it back. I feel like this game going anywhere but around 11 would be an absolute injustice to the map that we're watching right now, Colin.
I don't know what to believe, Jesse, right now. 10-5 for Jake. 10-6 for QUALIFIERS. And still just not able to walk away with some of these rounds. Line Cubs quickly off the break. In towards Beast, all the way underground, spots out one. Lovely trigger discipline too. I like this at a line cup. Let's see if the play pays off though. Slowly inches his way into the back, loses the teammates. Now jumping on the prey. A trade from line cup, but is it too late? Bomb is down. In a position.
Oh no!
No!
Oh, the trade is there too, Colin. It's just up to Yui. 1 and 8 here. Otherwise, we're going to a round 11. Dead silence gets popped here. I don't know if I would have used that in this 1v2 situation, but we're going to pop it anyways. We're going to try to close this map
Yui.
out. And you're spotted. Yui can't find the kill. And that's it. We're going to a round 11 here. And honestly, if you're Newburn, Colin, you want to pull this one off right now. You do not want to go to a map 3 with how the momentum in this series feels like it's swinging right now.
Somebody's got to say it, Jesse. Lion Cub, please. If you're watching this, if any of Lion Cub's friends are watching this, go into the settings, turn the sensitivity down.
5.5. That's the sweet spot.
5.5. 5.5, maybe 6.6, even 7.7 is pushing it a little bit, but some people like that.
What's
but
royalty play on? Like 8.8? He's crazy. That's about as high as I would ever let somebody get inside.
I think I remember back in Advanced Warfare, royalty or somebody, I think it was royalty played like 10-10.
It's crazy, yeah. Very interesting push here off the start of the round. Newburn's going to send 4 players through underground, and they have taken complete control of the middle of the map here, and not a single player from Riverside has pushed onto onto the offensive side of the map yet.
3 players grouped up, and here comes Riverside. Immediately, as soon as they swing, they fall. Jinx now looking to do some damage control. In and out in the 2 versus 2. 1 HP. Heals
Jinx
back
got the
up,
kill.
but Jinx finds another one. All down to 1 in the corner. It's Jake versus Jinx. Another 1v1, this time to determine the game.
It's been the best 2 players from both these teams throughout this entire series. Now in a 1v1 to close it out. Jake is trying to get back to middle map, try to get back
This
onto
might
the high
pay
ground
out.
in a situation, and the bomb looks like it's slowly rotating, almost mirroring his exact movements.
Yeah, all the way underground, Jinx. 26 seconds. Taking the full route in behind. Jake has no idea. And Jinx delivers for Riverside. We're going to control, Jesse.
Finally, we see a series go the opposite way. And I'm not going to lie, after seeing the smoke show that we saw on map number 1 going the way of Newburn, I really did not think after a 3-0 start that we were going to see a comeback from Riverside. But Jinx absolutely just put the backpack on and just carried this team through full effect. I mean, Yui was 1-10, Lion Club 3-11, and somehow, some way, a 17-7 performance from Jinx and 2 aces pulls that off. And that unbelievable single performance.
I think it's like 2 aces and 4 clutches from Jinx. Definitely putting the team on the back there for Riverside in map number 2. And luckily enough for them as well, I mean, this is a very important match for both teams. Not only to, show that a player like Jinx can turn up when you really need it to, but the winner of this game goes on tomorrow to play swag checked Wake leadership inside of the bracket, Jesse. So this is a really important game for you to not only, I guess, show up and show out, but also look comfortable too.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, that's going to be a tough matchup tomorrow, no matter what, going up against swag checked. As soon as you have to go up against them, I mean, it's going to be tough, but I think that both these teams I could see being able to compete. And if I'm being honest, Colin, I mean, it might not be the craziest, but both Riverside have shown now a good, strong resilience, especially inside of Search and Destroy. And then Newburn as well. I think that we've seen going up against, maybe not up against top teams, have they looked the greatest inside a Hardpoint or inside of Search and Destroy necessarily. But when they've found their stride and their rhythm together, they have looked very good inside that Search and Destroy that we saw earlier, or sorry, the Hardpoint that we saw earlier on today. So there's definitely a chance for either one of these teams, but still got to get through a map 3 from either one to be able to get there. And I don't know how this series ended up like this. I don't know what happened after 3 rounds for the side of Newburn there, but Riverside flipped a switch, and now we're going to see map number 3.
It's a roller coaster of emotions, Jesse. Honestly, throughout it, I just love to see that we're getting a control finally from one of these teams. And no matter which way we spin it, it's going to be a tough game tomorrow for both of these teams. Always a chance for them to show up on the day and outperform the other team for sure, but it will be a tough game
for sure,
no matter what way you look at it. The fact that Wake leadership looked so dominant yesterday, tomorrow it's going to be tough for whoever wins out inside of this control. So while we get ready for this high-rise control coming up next, folks, we're going to take a quick little break. We'll come back with the last remaining map today here inside of our VESL Call of Duty Esports League. So don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. Welcome back, everybody, to the VESL Call of Duty Esports League. We got map number 3 for Newburn B and Riverside. Winner goes to play Wake Leadership tomorrow inside of the bracket. It's going to be a fun one. Very important game going on, Jesse. And it's you and I, our first time seeing high-rise or casting high-rise control.
Casting control in general so far here. It's been all search and destroy and hardpoint throughout the week here so far, but yeah, finally into a control and a very good start here from Riverside. I don't know if it's the map, if it's the slower game mode or what, or maybe they just finally are finding their footing here against this Newburn team. But after map 1, I did not see this series going to a game 3, let alone seeing Riverside popping off now the way that they are here to start this defensive round.
Yeah, they're playing fantastic. And now Riverside, Yui on the flank. Oh, not going to spot that first player, but luckily the teammate cleans it up with the Renetti, and 21 to 27 live, starting to show a little bit of a disparity in favor of Riverside. Lovely, though, 3K kills. Now make it 4 to start heading into B and start stacking the zone to start getting some progression.
They're going to stack both points, 2 and 2. This is going to have to also now split the defense from Riverside to figure out which point they want to hit on to first. The B zone will get 2 ticks of progress. 1 tick of progress is also completed over towards A. This is not done just yet. Yui will find that final kill over at A, but Sethlander now on the hunt as well.
B gets connected fully. Renegade. Team shots. Ooh, and he goes down there. Flank. Finally coming out all the way in the back of Helipad. Sethlander will be able to clear the point 5 in a row, but here comes the flank now. Line Come makes himself known, and that's going to stop the progress to A.
3 life lead as well for Riverside, but you got lots of time here to work with if you're Newburn. Life's not really going to become a factor yet, but definitely something to keep in mind. Yui with the team nade. That's not great. Now you'll find all 4 players dead on the side of Riverside, leading with that team nade as the first blood.
Luckily, Jinx is going to be here, the savior of the search and destroy. Can you do it once more? Second progression in at A. Now working on the last. Here comes the defense, but QualTech cutting them down. Renegade a team kill, and oh no, everything falls apart. Newburn, they get shut down again, Jesse.
Yui with another team kill just to make sure that nobody on the point was going to lock that one down. But yeah, you got to make one more push now if you're Newburn. And it looks like Sethlander's going to take the route here that could end up winning them the game. Going to try to get on a massive flank behind the rest of the Riverside players.
Jinx just dancing around the site, but yeah, this flank here from Sethlander, nobody knows. Finally gonna see these players. Nice little double kill, and that's gonna open up the gates yet again at A. Jesse. Time to stack it. Sethlander hits the reload. Nice shots out. Trophy down to the ground now. A little bit of backup for the players and no respawns for Riverside, so Yui has to play his life. 5 lives to 4. Last hit coming in. Contention's out for Yui, but he's gonna fall, and now Newburn collecting the progress. They win the first offense, and they take the lead.
That was not clean by any means by Newburn, but they get the job done at the end of the round. I like that Yui just tries to contest here, tries to buy his team enough time to be able to get back into the point to stop that from going through. Just unfortunately was not enough and not able to get the job done there in that situation. 1-0 for Newburn. Let's see how Riverside responds on their attack now.
It's really scrappy too, but I mean, you can't forget that if it's not scrappy, this becomes a little bit, I don't want to say a snooze fest, but this map is really easy to spawn trap teams on, and the fact that both teams are keeping it scrappy means that this is a very competitive game so far.
Yeah, for sure. You're absolutely correct. And I'm interested to see now that you're the team that has to push into the offensive side, how Riverside responds here, because this seems to be where they have been at the weakest, at least in the hard point as well. When they were the team that wasn't rotating early and having to be the team on the aggression making those pushes, they were struggling quite a bit in those situations. Everybody outside of Jinx has been incredible today so far. But yeah, gonna hop onto A, and unfortunately just all alone.
And even still, I mean, we see all this for Riverside. A lot of it came down to so many clutch plays working in their favor back inside of map number 2. So will they be able to overwhelm in a game mode that already favors the defense? It's going to be tough as blue control here for Newburn. Another kill out. Swings. Sethlander finds one. Stays away. Jake healing back up. No kills coming out from Riverside just yet. So far, Newburn have only lost 1 life, Jesse, on this defense, and they're not going to let one go just yet.
And I don't think Yui's going to be the one to find it here unless something crazy happens. He's going to sit down in the corner, maybe cook a little nade out. Hey, at least it's not going to be a teammate this time. But we'll find another bunch of success here. Jinx with the only couple kills through the round here for Riverside so far. They might get a tick of progress at B. They will confirm one. And they finally get some progress. A little bit of a stack coming through as well, but here comes the reinforcements now from Newburn.
This is going so fast. Nade in for Jake. Finds the first one of the UE. Into the corner, though. The team kills. Seth clears it out. 22 seconds left. Qualtic on a 5 spree. Make it 6 in a row. Now on his way to the streaks, but looking to the corner, he doesn't have the cruise missile equipped, so no streaks available here for Qualtac. Peeks back out. Lovely shots coming out for 7 in a row. 10 seconds remaining, Jesse. And Riverside, they just cannot get anything going. They had that chance at B, but it fell through their fingertips. And Newburn now going to be 1 round away from taking map 3.
Yeah, and only 2 ticks of progression there as well. Just something just to keep in mind. You never know. We might see Riverside win out these next 2 rounds. Those ticks of progression, they do end up determining who gets the final defense. And as you can see, defense can reign quite supreme on a map like High Rise, as we see once again here. Colin, it's really going to come down to Riverside and honestly onto Jinx, because the rest of the team is not really there at the moment. Jinx is doing what he can.
Yeah.
But, I mean, Lion Cub at 7 and 14, double negative. You got quadruple negative in UE right now. Lost Nemesis as well, 2 and 14. That's 7 times negative. I don't even know what you want to call it. Like, they need to turn it around here, and it needs to start right now.
Yeah, they are taking quite the beating right now from Newburn B. And it is not pretty, but for Newburn, however, on the other side, I mean, I really think we can hype up this team, because a lot of struggles, a lot of, you know, turbulence back in their first match of the day that we did get to see, back versus Lee County, Jesse. But inside of the respawns, I am so impressed with the teamwork that we're being shown from Newburn B, and the way that they're playing together. Everyone is having an exceptional series. The A site will get shut down. Jinx will break back in towards B, but still a minute left.
A minute left, and already 2 ticks of progression onto the B zone. And it looks like that's where the next line of attack is going to be going once again. Seth Lander will be the first player to hop up top. Not able to find anything, but you got the trades in from Renegade. But it looks like Jinx still going to be the player able to stand inside of the hill and stand strong. Sorry, Lion Cub actually, who is standing tall and continues to go massive here for Riverside. These are kills that you absolutely need at the moment.
It's not easy kills to find in behind the antenna, but A site gets broken. The first tick going to be locked in. Jinx on the rotate. 20 and 12, looking for a little bit more, finds it. And working his magic here towards A, although Qualtic, a pillar, the turret right now for Newburn. A nice double kill, puts him on 3 in a row. And now looking for 4th. It's going to be their 3rd tick getting worked on at A. Here comes Riverside. They need to get in, and they need to shut down Qualtic now. 107 HP, just finessing his life behind the barrels. Finally goes down. 51 seconds.
4 ticks through, 2 life lead for Newburn, and they are just relentless with this attack here into the zones. But Jinx again somehow stays alive inside of B, stops the push, and keeps this game as close as possible. The lives could end up becoming a factor into this one, as you are almost down to your last 10 for Riverside. A
little bit of a bait and switch here for Renegades, but it's Jinx to walk away yet again on B. Time stopped at 35. Jake sitting in the corner. And Jinx is going to stall it out yet again. Big kill coming out from Jake now. B site in a little bit of a pickle here. Jake still finding value, still finding Cess, and that should be another minute added on.
Oh no, a minute and a half now. All you need is 1 tick of progression, and like we said before, those lives are going to really come into favor here. 9 lives only left for Riverside. They need a big clean wipe and to get a lot of map control right now.
This is it. Minute 16, Riverside down in lives, only by 3. Definitely not out of the realm of possibility, especially considering probably the angle that they have. Jinx from the top ropes finds 2. That's going to slow things down again.
And that almost evens the life count out as well. 8 to 7. Jinx is double positive right now at 29 and 14. An unreal round of control out of Jinx, really again carrying this team on his back right now. And he's going to go on another full flank here, try to get it back in behind the players on Newburn once again.
Running circles around it, but not needed just yet. Back into the hill comes Renegade. Again, Jinx just trading effectively.
Jinx goes down, only 2 lives left.
Poor Jake, and Jinx is out of the count. Now, no respawns for either side. Newburn, though, in a little bit of an advantage here, especially considering they're on the point. Lion Club needs to go big, but it's all down to one. Yui against the world, and that world is just a little bit too strong because it revolves around Newburn B, and it's going to take them to the bracket play tomorrow to face Wake leadership.
Man, I feel so bad for Jinx. I don't want to take away from Newburn's win there. A fantastic win, able to get the job done at the end of the day. But man, Jinx had a unreal performance in that game. 30 and 15 to finish it off. 26 non-traded kills, a 5 spree as his highest. But I mean, Colin, 1,690 damage per round is unreal numbers.
Yeah, 100. Yeah, that is absolutely insane. We got to show some respect over towards Jinx for not only the performance in the control, but the performance in the search and destroy. We wouldn't see that map number 3 without Jinx. And, you know, for a lot of those players there that we did see from Riverside, I mean, Jesse, albeit not the best series for a couple of these individuals, but even still, we come into a tournament like this, and, you know, this is definitely an area where some of these players may be touching the game for Call of Duty in a competitive setting or even in a casual setting for the very first time and joining in. There's a lot of nerves that go with it. There's a lot of learning, a lot of nuances to the game that you still have to learn. And I love the fact that a lot of these teams, they come out, they play through these group stages. Might not be the best performance ever, but it is the fact that they came out here, they tried their best, and I hope to see them try again.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that when you're really looking, and it comes down to these last couple of games that we saw at least, I think we're now starting to get like closer and closer and closer to what we're going to see coming up tomorrow and into the rest of bracket play. The games are getting closer. They're getting a little bit more competitive finally, and this is when it's really going to come down to not just having those one pop-off players like we just saw here in this last game. You had one pop-off player, and usually through a lot of our other series, that's been enough. Not in this one, though. That one pop-off player was not enough when the rest of the players were just not able to keep up in that. So it's going to come down more to teamwork, and we're going to see that more and more as this tournament goes along.
Well, let's get a little bit of a recap going for what we got today, Jesse. If we can take a look over towards our Group C from the beginning of the day. Group C was absolutely fantastic to watch. We started off with, Garer C. We followed along with Garer C along the way. They take down Kell, but they lose to Green Level, who lost to Panther Creek B. So that's going to be a very interesting group, Jesse, when everything is kind of laid out.
Yeah, it's going to be a really interesting one because, like you said, you have the one team really kind of popping off, but then Green Level looked really good. But Green Level lost to Panther Creek, so it's like, it's going to be one of those classic situations, I feel, where we're going to just see 3 teams at like 2-1 and one team at 0-3. I just have like one of those weird feelings, and then it's going to be like, damn, it's going to come down to a tiebreaker on who ends up making it out there.
And we are getting information that is Green Level and Panther Creek B who are going to be advancing in towards the bracket play from Group C. So that's very interesting. We never got to see Panther Creek B, but with the level that Tommy, was it 4-year mommy?
4-year mommy, yeah.
The fact that he comes out, he shows an incredible stance for Green Level against Garer C. The fact that they lost to Panther Creek B leaves me so excited to see what this team can be. And, even for this one, we can, move in towards Group H, where we just finished off the night, Jesse, for what we saw on screen. And even in Group H, towards the end there, Riverside and Newburn, I feel like, playing for a little bit of that second place after Lee County really shows up on the day. But with Newburn taking that second place finish and moving forward in towards the bracket play, they now have to play Wake leadership, Swag Check's team tomorrow.
That's going to be a tough one, too. Although we did see Newburn had some resilience today. I do think that they can definitely take the fight to them. It's really going to come down to shutting down Swag Check. If you can shut down Swag Check, the rest of the team, not as crazy, right, as Swag Check is. That like as we could see, Swag Check, one of the players who is probably one of the more further advanced players right now in the tournament that we've seen so far. But that's really what it's going to come down to. You shut him down, you'll have an opportunity to be able to come away with a victory.
Yeah, and Lee County High B, I'm excited to see this team perform inside of the bracket, Jesse. So much to look forward to when we do get through there in Group G. You can see that Rocky River, Westmech, the 2 to qualify from Group G and towards the bracket as well. So let's take a look at what they're going to be playing for inside of the prizing for this tournament as well. We talked about it at the start of the stream, Jesse, but we can also talk about it here towards the end because tomorrow is where we start eliminating teams in in the bracket as well. And teams are going to start their journey towards $8,000 in first place, second $3,000, and third $1,000.
Yeah, and that's what it's all about, right? We're going to get a big breakdown. Everybody's trying to compete for that. I mean, even third place, you walk away with $250 split between everybody at the end of the week. It's a fantastic week, like we said at the end of the day. So we'll have to just see what these teams can do as we get to that portion. It's going to be a crazy next couple of days. I believe it's best of 3 still tomorrow, like you, I know you were asking, and it looks like that's what we'll get to see once again coming up. So obviously not our favorite, but it's going to be some very fast series going through.
Yeah, it's going to be crunch time for a lot of these teams looking to close out strong inside of the brackets. And you see the pricing there, $12,000 split across. And that goes towards, maybe a brand new SCUF controller for these competitive players, and maybe a brand new console, brand new PC parts. So many options for them. Maybe even put it towards their post-secondary that is coming up very soon for a lot of these students. But Jesse, it's going to be all for tonight instead of our day 2 action here inside of the VESL Call of Duty Esports League. Any finishing thoughts before we get ready for day 3 up next?
I'm just excited for tomorrow, honestly. I think that's really what it all comes down to. Is tomorrow we're really going to see that next stage where hopefully we're not going to get any blowout maps anymore, where all the teams are at least a little bit competitive to the point where they're going to be able to kind of bring the fight back to some of these more talented teams. So that's what I'm really looking forward to, just slimming down the bracket, getting to the cream of the crop, and just getting to those best players here.
Well, folks, hold on to your hats. Jesse is extremely right here. It's going to be a fun time when we get into the bracket play, and it's going to be fun to see these teams, fight for that chance inside of the prizing. But that's going to be all for today inside of day 2. We hope you enjoyed, and don't forget to subscribe to the VESL Esports League for future content, for future tournaments, and, for future days of this Call of Duty tournament for the rest of the week. We hope you all had a great night. We can't wait to see you all tomorrow as well. Same time, same place for the startup bracket play. We'll see you there.